Ooh, we got an audience today.
Didn't bring my cushions.
Some Newtown folks again. Fire department. Okay. All right. Are we ready? Okay. 7 o'clock. Call to order. Can we do a roll call?
Banks. Absent. Collins.
Here.
Wood.
Here. Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Absent.
Here.
Florida. Absent. Collins.
Here.
Ferguson. Here. Aye.
Here.
Chair, you have quorum with 11 members present.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Just a reminder, please use the mics, guys. It'll make his job so much easier. Okay. All right. Honolulu Fire Department. Thank you for showing up. Come on up and give us your brief.
Second to hear this part. Kind of short. Sorry. Hello, everybody. I'm Firefighter 1 Mike Nojo. I'm from the ʻAiea Fire Station. I'm going to be going over the incident statistics for August 2025. So for fires, we had 1 structure fire, 5 wildland brush fires, 3 nuisance fires, which are rubbish fires outside a structure or vehicle. We've had 5 activated alarms with no fire. For other types of emergencies, we've gone to 124 medicals, 1 motor vehicle collision with pedestrian, 13 motor vehicle crash or collisions, 2 mountain rescues, no ocean rescues or hazardous materials incidents. And then I also have the fire safety tip and announcement for this month. This month is Charge into Fire Safety. It's going over lithium-ion batteries in your home. This year, the National Fire Protection Association's Fire Prevention Week campaign works to educate everyone about using these batteries safely. Lithium-ion batteries store a lot of energy in a small place. These batteries can overheat, start a fire, or explode if overcharged or damaged. By learning how to buy, charge, and recycle these batteries safely, you can help prevent a fire in your home. So the bullet points talk about buying only listed products. When buying a product that uses a lithium-ion battery, look for safety certification marks such as UL, ETL, or CSA. Those are some organizations that help companies meet important safety standards. Charge devices safely. Always use the cords that came with the product to charge. Follow the instructions from the manufacturer. Buy new chargers from the manufacturers or one that the manufacturer has approved. Charge your device on a hard surface. Don't overcharge your device. Unplug it or remove the battery when it's fully charged. Recycle batteries responsibly. Don't throw lithium-ion batteries in the trash or regular recycling bins because they could start a fire. This is just me, but if they get damaged, it's quite easy for them to catch fire. And then sometimes garbage trucks end up getting on fire. Recycle your device or battery at a safe battery recycling location. Visit call2recycle.org to find a recycling spot near you. And the last thing is the HFD is hosting a Fire Prevention Family Day event on October 4th at the Honolulu Zoo from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We encourage everyone to bring their families to participate in activities and they can meet our fire and life safety partners. And that is our tip. If anyone has any questions or concerns, we can.
Board members, any questions? Okay, ma'am, go ahead. Kathy.
Would you be able to share as much as possible about 2 fires that occurred on August 15th and 16th at 98456 ʻAiea Street? And this is right next to the Newtown Estates Association, Community Association.
Okay.
Look,
Hi.
Captain Mukulu, we will get that information for you. I don't have that information off the top of our head. We cover 3 different watches at our station. So it could have been a watch that was on duty, which wasn't that actually went to that incident. So I got the address, I got the date. You said it was 2 fires. On your next meeting, we'll have all the information available for you.
Thank you.
So just to reiterate on what she said, I'll get to you, Tracy, here in a second, but I was going to ask the same question. My understanding was that there's homeless encampments over there and that those fires were started because of that occurring.
Okay.
When you come back next month
Yep.
to brief us on what transpired and what the remedies are, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're anticipating something that deals with the homeless encampments that are over there.
Mhm.
Tracy, you got something?
Yeah, last time in August too, up on the hillside, right by the overpass by the Pono Street area.
Yep.
There was a fire that was on that hill over there too. So if you can, was it deliberately set or what was the situation with that fire?
Okay. We'll look into that. That was, you have the time frame on that one as well? It was in August as well. Okay. Yeah, we'll try to look up to see what information we have for August, brush fire in that area.
Do you know what date that was? Okay. Okay, well,
I
we'll
can't-
get back to you on that.
Just from
We'll have
experience.
Curtis get back to you on that.
Sorry, just from experience,
Uh-huh.
we have been to brush fires, maybe have been caused by, say, you said homeless or what have you. We can't really determine what caused the fire. In a lot of these cases, when we get there, everything is already at a point where it's hard to pinpoint what caused the fire.
So if it's an arson case, is it more of an HPD question at that point?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay. All right.
And then, yeah, we'll try and pull up the information for you folks on the August incidents and have that available for you folks on next meeting.
Yeah, if you could just do some research on the two that happened in Newtown, and then we'll get you the date on this other one that Tracy mentioned.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Board members, any other questions for HPD, or I mean Honolulu Fire Department? Okay, community members, any questions for the fire department? Okay, nothing heard. Thank you both
Good.
for showing up and giving the report.
Yep,
Much
have a good
appreciated.
night.
Okay, HPD.
Hi, good evening, ʻAiea Neighborhood Board, Lieutenant Glenn Iwasaki, Honolulu Police Department, District 3, Pro City. I'll start with the reported incidents report. The motor vehicle thefts, this is August 2025 compared to July. So motor vehicle thefts, it was 3 in July, it went up to 12. Burglaries was 7, went up to 8. Thefts were at 16, went up to 23. And car break-ins, it was at 5, went down to 2. Total calls for service for this area in July was 1,354 calls compared to August 2025, 1,405 calls. Safety tip of the month is arrive alive, don't text and drive. And just to share, the Honolulu Police Department, our fatality rate's really high right now. We're trying to curb these fatalities. So as for District 3 patrol, and I believe the entire department patrol divisions, we're doing this Take 30 for traffic initiative where every officer on the shift will specifically take 30 minutes for traffic education and enforcement. So that's the initiative that the HPD is doing right now to curb these fatalities that we have. And so in addition to that, if there's any areas, every time I do the other neighborhood board meetings, they have suggestions or complaints on speeding, or areas that we can focus on. So if you do have areas, if you don't have it now, you can reach out to, I guess, Chairman or Chairperson Woods and let him know, and you can let me know as well. And we can specifically post, or we have a speed trailer too that we can place out there too. So it's been really helping out.
Yeah, I want to give you guys kudos. I haven't seen as many kids on electric scooters out there as I was maybe 6 months ago. But one of your patrol cars was sitting at the light down there by Salt Lake and the guy on an electric skateboard was riding in the middle of the street, went right in front of him. I mean, he didn't do anything about it. So I don't know if he was actually paying attention or not. So, but overall, it looks like you guys, whatever the enforcement actions you guys are doing, it's definitely reduced considerably, at least from what I've seen. So thank you for that. Do you have anything else for your report, or can we?
No, that's it. Yeah.
All right, board members, any questions for, oh yeah, I know you guys have a bunch of questions. Okay, so Lawrence, let's go first, and then we'll go to Jane.
Yeah, I noticed seems like there's a lot more houseless individuals in our neighborhood. I see a lot of different faces. The other week, somebody jumped a fence, came onto my property. as a resident property owner, what is my rights? Do I confront the individual? Do I call HPD? Do I track him where he's going?
No, yeah, definitely call HPD. I wouldn't advise you to confront the individual. You never know what they're carrying. We just had was yours recent where the male was arrested, or that's a different situation?
No, it was approximately 2 weeks ago. It was when school started. So I was thinking it was a student that was cutting across yards to get to his home, but I wasn't 100% sure. And, if I was outside or near to the door, I would have gone outside to talk to him. But I'm just wondering, as far as the residential side, what is our procedures as far as what we should do?
Yeah, definitely call HPD. I don't advise anyone to approach these guys. Like we just had a trespass. The person's carrying a pickaxe with him, or carrying knives and stuff like that. So a lot of these people, you never know what they're carrying with them or their state of mind too. So definitely not worth approaching them. Please call us and we'll take care of it. Yeah, we'll definitely respond and we'll address that individual. So yeah, and get them to whether so if he's trespassing on your property, he can be arrested for simple trespass. We got trespass second, trespass first. Yeah, so um we'll definitely see what's going on. Sometimes they're trespassing, they need mental health assistance as well. So yeah, so let the officers go there, assess the situation and take care of it that way. Yeah, it's too dangerous now for residents to confront them on their own.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Jane.
I wanted to talk about an armed robbery that occurred at the end of March, just a stone's throw from where we are gathered here tonight on ʻAiea Heights Road there at the 7-Eleven. And I asked about the police about that at our next meeting, and I was told that y'all would get back to me, and you did at the next meeting where we met. I personally wasn't here, but I listened to the broadcast, and the police said that for that particular robbery, that they did not get, this is the report that they gave to the board, they did not get a license on the car, and so they couldn't find the perpetrators at all because they didn't have that information. Well, I had the video. They didn't mention this, but I had the video from inside the 7-Eleven that I got right off the news site, the local news site, and sent it to the police department. So there is some video for that. And then I heard there was another armed robbery in YPO, a couple months after that. And I thought, oh, wow, they didn't catch those guys. So now here it goes again. And just to my way of thinking, an armed robbery is a very, very violent crime. I mean, I know it's not a murder or anything like that, but man, it's up there. It's not in the same league as just a simple robbery to me. So if you could look that information up and see if anything has come further down about that particular case, which March 28th, 2:45 a.m. is when this particular crime happened, and just on ʻAiea Heights Road.
Okay, thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll look that up and yeah, we'll I'll fill you in. I can look it up now, but I don't want the entire public and neighborhood board to wait. But yeah, so I'll get back to you on that. I think I was working that night, so I remember that case. But if you turned in the video, it definitely went to so our robbery cases go to the robbery detail at the criminal investigation division. So detective has that case, so I can look it up to see what the status of that case is. We also have crime reduction in District 3, and if they know who the perpetrator is or the suspect is, then they'll definitely go and grab them. So yeah, I'll update you at the next meeting on this robbery.
Okay, thank you, LT. And if you could just update us at the next board meeting with that information. I don't think
Will
there's
do,
it's very
yes.
sensitive at this point. Okay, May. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm very eager to report that unfortunately on my street,
from last year, there's parking on the sidewalk in my subdivision called Waimalu Gardens on Pono Street. You have a choice of putting concrete or leaving grass. My husband and I chose not to put concrete to save money. But nearby neighbors, very big boats. And if I know that's private property, and they are parking it on the sidewalk, and this boat is very large. He had a smaller one, which he put into his gated driveway, and that's where you put all your personal belongings. And I have seen houses that, they own boats and it's not on the sidewalk, it's in their property, as I properly learned. And I did some research. The lady at the library, we looked into the laws, and they said cars are not allowed on the sidewalk because that's public access. Handicapped people need the space. And some people can't afford cement. I chose just to plant grass. And nobody, well, I wouldn't say nobody, but those who have concrete, they feel like that's, property that they can just park their boats. And I know that's illegal, even cars. So if cars aren't allowed, big boats or any kind of boat should not be allowed. It's private passway. Handicapped people cannot walk on sidewalks that has, big cars. And in our area, there's a lot of cars because it's crowded. And
So do you have a particular address we can go
my
to?
next door neighbor,
Okay.
I live at 98310. I don't know what's this side. And I mean, it's very sad, but with the cost of housing, they have to live with, their parents or someone, and it's double the size, and they have complex, 2 homes. So the parking is limited, and, the sidewalk looks ideal, but I know it, and my girlfriend looked it up, it's illegal. So I told him it's not, a police report could be filed because it's illegal to park boats on the sidewalk. And it's not a small one, honey, it's a big one. So it really catches and it blocks my view. So, okay,
Okay,
that's my,
yeah.
I want to make
Yeah,
a complaint.
yeah,
Is it,
right after I get off, I'll send an officer there and we'll check on it right now. Yeah,
Okay.
but is your side, because in Pro City there's a lot of, on the whole streets there's a lot of sidewalks that's not, it's like grass, and some of it is private property on that grass area, and some is state, and a lot of people park their cars there. And if the cars are parked there in a manner where pedestrians have to go around and on the road, then we cite them because that's obstructing the sidewalk, right? But some of it, you know what I mean? Some is all dirt and grass, yeah. So there's a line that some is city and some is private. So if it's on their private, then it's allowed. So it's like a gray area. And when we addressed it, people said for the past 100 years they parked their car there. So, but I'll send an officer right now to your address, and we'll look at that boat. We'll address that now.
but in the bylaws, it specifically states no cars are allowed to park. Do we own the grassy area? If
We
we,
want to know that.
oh, you don't know. And some people have money, they concrete the whole thing. And then I just, is that private? I mean, I know handicapped people won't be able to pass because the bus or even a car. Prior to that,
Correct.
he had, and he has too many cars.
So are you talking about your HOA bylaw,
What is HOA?
your housing bylaw?
Well, the lady at the library looked it up and she said, yes, no cars are allowed on the, but see, in our
So you're
subdivision,
talking about an ordinance, not a bylaw.
oh, okay, ordinance, the law, I call
Okay.
it law,
There's
but
a
I don't,
difference.
yeah.
Huge difference.
Okay,
Okay.
what you say? Ordinance.
Ordinance.
Okay, ordinance. I look at it as anything is law, rightful or wrong, and it's right or wrong. And I think it's not right for handicap.
Okay.
Okay.
No, we take it serious. I'll forward this. I'll send an officer now, but I'll forward this to our community policing team, and they'll look up where the property line ends and all that, and then we can I'll update you on that. We'll try to look that up for you. Yeah, but yeah, handicapped people is a concern because even in the, all this whole Malu, whole Hulu, whole high streets, there, if you're in a wheelchair or a scooter, you're forced to be on the road. So that is a concern, you know what I mean? But there's no sidewalk too, so it's all grass.
Yeah.
So that was brought up before as well. Yeah.
Okay,
So
my
yeah,
final, can
no,
I
go
ask
ahead,
one?
Sal.
Okay, who owns the area, the grassy work
You
or,
won't know the answer.
oh, you don't know an answer?
Yeah,
Okay.
some might be the property, and some might be city. So we'll try
Oh.
to look that up. Yeah, and I'll get back to you on the next meeting.
I'm very concerned about that because
Yes,
that,
yeah,
if they own it, the state, and if I owned it, I'll take care of it. Okay,
yes, yeah.
thank you.
You have to go look
Okay,
it
thank you.
Property loans. I don't know that.
I,
Permitting. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. All right. LT, one other thing. So there has been a shooting down in Halava Estates at a bus stop. Can you elaborate on that and what has been occurring since then?
The Halava, to tell you honestly, the Halava bus stop, I'm aware of the latest homicide that was on the news tonight. I was at that case. The Halava bus stop, let me get back to you on that one because I would have to look it up as well.
I think it was
But
like several shots were fired, but nobody was like injured. But there was a group of people, I think from the public housing down there that were sitting at that bus stop, and then a drive-by basically occurred is what happened. But yeah, the homicide too as well. That just occurred tonight. So
yeah,
the
homicide.
well, actually, that didn't occur tonight. That was a couple days ago. But that's in Halava Heights area, I think, right? The
Yes,
homicide.
yes.
Yeah, and that was,
Do
it
you
looked
know
like a.
Do you know the date of that Halava? I have it up right here. The Halava shooting. Do you have the
Yeah.
date of that?
I want to say it was sometime within a couple weeks ago, but I'd have to get back with you on that one.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that too. But yeah, because that doesn't ring a bell where shots were fired but nobody got hit, right?
Right. Yeah. Nobody got injured.
Oh, okay. No, I remember. That was at the rail near the rail station, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So initially we had shots fired. There was a car that fled the scene.
Correct.
There was nobody at the bus stop, and then later on that morning, some of the kids came up and said they were actually there, and the shots
Right.
was fired at them. Yes. So yeah,
That's
as far as any updates on that, I didn't hear any updates. I don't think there was the suspect's description was really vague,
okay.
like three people in a car kind of thing. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't think any arrests were made or any updates we had on that, and some of statements were inconsistent as well. So
Okay.
yeah, I do remember that. And sorry. Yeah.
No, no worries. You got a lot to remember. Okay, great. Okay. Any other questions, Kathy? Back to you.
could we have an update on an attempted burglary on Friday, August 15th at 98456 Ka'ahele Street? And that is the Newtown Estates Community Association Rec Center.
There was a attempted burglary. Okay, yeah. I'll look it up now. Is there a way I can contact you, Chairman Woods?
Yeah. We'll get all this together and then send it to you that
Yeah,
way.
because I can get it in 5 minutes, but I'm not gonna, make everybody wait too. But and even the fire that was mentioned, Kahele too, by that community center, there is homeless individuals living back there. So I know the golf course use drones to go and see where they're at and address that issue. And it's our community policing team does go and hike in there and clears them out here and there, but then they'll go back and settle again. So yeah, about the fire I'm not sure, but I know there is a homeless community back there, deep back there, where I think at the driving range the balls are hit just just away behind that big netting.
Curtis, can you give
So
the LT my email address? Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else, guys? Okay. Community members. Yeah, I have one online too. Okay. Man, LT, you're a popular fellow today, by the way. Just saying.
no worries, yeah.
All right.
So, good evening. I had a couple of concerns. if people block the trash cans, is that a violation for anything? Or can we call the police for that or? Some,
What do you mean,
just,
Randy, what do you mean by like
just the other
blocking
day,
a trash can?
just the other day, vehicle blocked the trash can, so they couldn't.
Blocking a trash
Yeah,
can?
blocking.
Okay, okay, okay.
Oh, definitely call us. Yes, that is a violation. If they're violating the driveway, if it's too close to the driveway or no parking zone, they definitely call us. We get called all on rubbish pickup days, Waipahu, wherever rubbish pickup is, we get called in the morning for it. That is blocking cars parked in a cul-de-sac when they're not supposed to. So yeah, if it's a parking violation, definitely call us and we'll send an officer there and address it.
So hold on just for a second. So LT, I think what he's asking is if the trash cans are not set up in the middle of the driveway, if they're on the sidewalk
Yes.
and somebody blocks the trash can, is that a parking violation?
No, yeah, it's not. Yeah, if they're parked legally, it's not. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And the next one, is there like noise ordinance, like when people coming to work and they're blasting their stereo? In the morning, like 6:15 in the morning?
Yes, there is. Yeah. Cars can't play their stereo where it can be heard from a distance of 30 feet. So that is a violation. Yeah. So
And-
they can get cited for that. So like, you know how we're at a traffic light and car pulls up and you can feel the bass vibrating your car? Then we pull them over and they get cited for that. So there is a violation for that. That is a
Okay.
traffic offense.
Do
So, but-
you have, hold on, Randy, just for, do you have to hear it or the officer has to hear it? Can it be reported by the citizen?
Yeah. Usually, if we cite them, the officer has to hear it, but the citizens can definitely call and make a complaint about it, and we'll go check it out. Yeah.
Could they
If they're
make-
just passing by, try to get a license plate, and we can make a report on it, and then we can follow up with that person that owns that car.
If there was a video made of an individual doing that, and they showed it to the officer that arrives, would the officer be able to issue a citation based on the video evidence?
Probably not, because the distance, you know what I mean? The distance has to be measured out, and yeah, so probably not a video, but we can still make a case on it. If he calls for that concern, at least our officers know about that, that problem that's happening.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Because we had a video, exactly like what you said. They couldn't make a case out of it, but they did talk to the neighbors because with a car that was parked, because it's been happening quite frequently. Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, community members, oh, we have one online. Joanne?
Hi. I live in ʻAiea, and on June 11th, somebody tried to break into our house. They drove into the garage, disabled the security cameras, and they were going to break in, but a friend of mine arrived, so they left. What we heard later was they made 2 attempts that same day, and were successful in breaking into one house. One was in Pearl City and then one was in Manoa. Same people, two guys and a girl. And the same, they disabled the security cameras. Then there was a story on the news a couple days later, and it looked like the same people. They were all videotaped. They were successful in, I think it was Moanalua, Salt Lake, and then there was video again in Manoa. So I guess I'm wondering if you have any information to share about this, because it seemed like they were pretty active, and it seemed like there was a lot of information that was recorded about them.
Yeah, if they were arrested, then the detective, I'm sure they connected it all together. You would definitely get a call from the detective. So if
Okay.
the videos are all the same people, I'm sure, one of the crime reduction people, or we have blasts that are emailed to us, so somebody probably will recognize them. And then once they're arrested, you'll get a call from the detective, I'm sure, to view the video or view the people arrested to make positive identification. Because you said you had video as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's a detective assigned to your case. If it happened in Pro City, then it's probably one of my detectives here.
I live in I.
So, oh yeah, ʻAiea
live-
is still ours too. Yeah,
Okay.
ʻAiea is ours too. So yeah, if you want, I can have the detective follow up with you on your case. But I would need your name or the report number if you have it.
Okay. You know what? Maybe I don't have it right in front of me, but I can get it to you. But you're saying
Yeah,
that if we didn't hear from them, they probably haven't been caught.
haven't been arrested yet.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm at G Iwasaki. So Glenn Iwasaki, G Iwasaki at Honolulu.gov. So you
Okay.
can email me. Yeah. Feel free to email me.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Curtis, anybody else? Okay. LT, we're letting you go after about 30 minutes. So have a good
Yeah, no
night.
problem.
Thank you for everything you're
Thank
doing.
you.
Okay, much appreciated. We look forward to hearing from you next month about some of the things we talked
Yes.
about.
See you.
So,
Thank you.
all right, thank you. Okay, all right, let's move on. Next item on the agenda is filling of one vacant at-large seat. Do we have anybody that wants to fill the vacancy? Russell? Okay, all right. Somebody make a motion? Or Russell, you want to come up, or Tracy? I mean, we kind of all know Russell. Do we really want him to, like, give us his life story, So, okay. You'll make the motion. Anybody want to second the motion for Russell? Okay, May, all right. Any objections to Russell coming on the board? Nothing heard. Okay, motion's been approved. Russell, come on up. You're on the board now. Thank you. You want to do a swearing in real quick? Do you want me to put in recess? Or do you want to just take it off the side real quick while we continue? Okay, all right. He's going to go ahead and swear you in, Russell, real quick off the side so we can continue on track. Okay, all right, moving on. City reports, Board of Water Supply. Hi, Tracy.
Sherwood. So good evening, Sherwood, members of the ʻAiea Neighborhood Board and members of the community. I'm Tracy with the Board of Water Supply, and I have a couple of things to share with you tonight. The first thing is that there was just one main break that was reported in this neighborhood district last month, and it occurred on Ho'olaua'i Street. That's by Waiau Park. We'd like to invite you to bring your entire ohana for this year's annual Imagine a Day Without Water Day. It's a free family-friendly event on Saturday, December 20, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Windward Mall's Center Court. And I shared a flyer with all the board members, and there's extra on the table for anybody interested. During the event, you can learn about the One Water concept and why water is essential to every part of life. You can explore interactive displays from over 20 state, city, and community organizations. Enjoy hands-on activities, prize giveaways, including a 45-gallon rain barrel, and much more. Find out more at www.boardofwatersupply.com/OneWaterHawaii, or you can pick up a copy of the flyer at the sign-in table. The other announcement I'd like to make is that we had to reschedule the community meeting that I announced at the July meeting. This is for the BWS Monitoring Well project, and the reason is because of the tsunami alert that occurred. So just to refresh all of you, the Board of Water Supply is planning to install 2 nearby monitoring wells, and they'll be put within the ʻAiea Field Annex across the high school. These wells will help monitor groundwater quality in response to the Navy's Red Hill fuel releases. And we're holding a rescheduled community meeting here at the ʻAiea Library at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, September 24th, to share more project details and respond to questions. The letters about the rescheduled meeting were mailed and also hand-delivered to residents living close to the project site. And for more information, you can pick up a copy of the informational flyer. They're also on the sign-in table. One more thing, at last month's meeting, community member Tara Sutton had asked if the Board of Water Supply does not win its lawsuit against the Navy, will the cost to address the fuel spill be passed on to the customers? So our response is this: it is too early in the process to speculate on the outcome of what may happen. The Board of Water Supply will provide updates on the lawsuit as they become available. Thank you.
All right, board members, any questions for Board of Water Supply? We got a lot to go over tonight, so make your questions quick, please. Okay. Community members, any questions? Claire?
Oh, okay. I know that you had asked that question of the council member, Cordero. So it turns out that, it's being used as a storage site for one of our, projects, our Board of Water Supply projects. No, I'm sorry, I don't have that information. I can get back to you at the next, with a potential, date, or, because whenever we do construction projects, it's always depends on if there's any unforeseeable circumstance.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other questions? Anything online, Curtis?
Yes.
Francie?
I couldn't hear Claire's question, but I also have a question.
Okay.
What was her question? Could you repeat what her question was?
Yeah, her question was that when are they going to complete using a area over here as a storage facility, basically?
Oh, okay. Anyways,
So
my
what-
question is, so I have a friend, they're moving, and she tried calling the move phone number on the website for Board of Water Supply, and it just kept hanging up on her. And that was today.
I can have somebody call your friend, if you would give me your friend's, name and address. You can
I have
email.
your
I'm sorry.
email again.
Okay, you can email it directly to me. It's tburgo, TBURGO @hbws.org. And I'll
Okay.
follow up.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, thank you, Francie. Any
Yeah.
other questions? Okay, nothing heard. All right, thank you, Tracy.
Thank you for
Much
your
appreciated.
attention.
Yep. All right, Mayor's office?
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
We sure can, Haku. How's it going?
Great. Thank you, Chair. Good evening, board and community. I'm Haku Millis. I'm the Director for Department of Design and Construction. I'll keep this short. I put the link to the mayor's newsletter in the chat. Please take a look at that. Lots going on with the city. And then just one quick note on the Charter Commission. So once every 10 years, the city charter is reviewed by a commission, and I'll just read this because I'll probably describe it better than I will. The Honolulu Charter Commission is conducting a once-a-decade review of the city charter, which serves as Honolulu's constitution. Community members are invited to submit proposals by November 7th, 2025. The commission will also be holding community meetings in October. Dates, times, and locations are available on the Charter Commission website. I encourage everyone to participate in this important process. Please visit the commission's website at honolulucitycouncil.org/charter-commission for more information. I'll put that link in the chat as well. There were a couple of issues from last time. There was a follow-up request regarding the ʻAiea District Park benches. The first time was about the concrete slabs, and can concrete slabs be placed under the park benches to prevent grass from growing? And then, Chair, you requested for an update. Parks responded. Thank you for the follow-up regarding the request to place concrete slabs under park benches at ʻAiea District Park to prevent grass growth and improve maintenance. An ADA-related bench installation project, which included concrete slab work, began in 2023. However, the project was cut short due to funding constraints, and the original contractor, Kama'aina Construction, was released. Our maintenance support section, MSS, stepped in to complete work at a few of our parks. We will take another look at the benches at ʻAiea District Park to see if our masons can assist with adding slabs where needed. We appreciate the suggestion and will do our best to accommodate it as time and resources allow. There was a question regarding parking at Waimalu Neighborhood Park. Can the Waimalu Elementary School parking lot be open for baseball games at the park? Member Higa shared concerns about parking congestion and safety for people who park on Wanaloa Road. DPR responded that organizations who seek to provide additional parking for participants attending games at Waimalu Neighborhood Park may contact the school to request the use of the state DOE parking lot. Organizations can submit a use of facilities application via online at hawaiipublicschools.org. DOE requires the application be submitted at least 10 days before the date of the event. That is my report. I'll put the links in the chat and happy to take any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the mayor's office, board members? Claire, looks like Claire's getting up. So community members, any questions for the mayor's office? Claire.
Hi, Haku. A couple of meetings ago, we talked about the building that's coming up on Wanaloa Road. I see the electricity has finally been connected. The sidewalk still is closed. And so it's been half a year or more that the sidewalk is closed. There's not enough pathway there to even have a wheelchair or somebody bigger than this big go through. We still have a problem with people running across back and forth in that area. Can we find out if there is going to be a no left turn out of that piece of property up towards Wanaloa Road? Or do you have any updates on that property?
Yeah, I mean, I remember providing the update that's a private development and they have the permits, the necessary permits with Department of Planning and Permitting. It's not a city project. I can check in for an update and provide it next time. I can also check on, if there is any information available regarding potential turn restrictions coming out of that property. Unfortunately, I don't have any information at this time, but I'll check on that.
Yeah, no, I understand that it's a private property, but they're also regulated by the permitting process and the
Right.
transportation process. So I think they have, you folks should have some say on that property. So if you could let us know when that sidewalk is going to open again or what the problem is and why it hasn't been open, that would be good. And then
Thank you. I'll follow up with Department of Planning and Permitting.
regarding
see
the,
if there are any violations.
okay, and regarding well, I'm not talking about violations. I want to know what's the future going to be and what are we going to allow or not allow in that property. So in regards to the Waimalu school parking lot for baseball games, opening it up, yeah, they can file a permit, but is it legal for them to charge, the school to charge for the use of the parking lot? Because they're having to pay a couple $100 a weekend to use the field. I mean, to use the parking if they have to have it opened up.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think the city can govern the state on the use of their property. I'll double check on that. But I think if the school, maybe they need to pay somebody to monitor. I'm not too sure, but I can check on that and see if the state has any kind of laws against that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Any other community members have questions for the mayor's office? Online? Nope. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Council Member Cordero's office.
Everybody, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hi.
Hello. We submitted our September monthly report. I also, on the chat, I also put in the link to our report, and it's a pretty long report, which includes 3 pages of community updates on community concerns. I'm not gonna go through that one by one. So please take your time and read that after the meeting if you want to. But I just want to highlight a couple of things. And one is we've been receiving some requests from residents who needs the installation of curb ramps or modification to existing accessible path leading to curb ramps within city right-of-way. They may submit a curb ramp request form to the city. We included the link to that form on our newsletter, which is also available online at honolulu.gov/ddc/curb ramps. Please note that this form is intended to be completed by or on behalf of a person with disability who requires the installation or modification of curb ramps or accessible path within public right-of-ways. Also want to provide some things that are happening in the Infrastructure, Transportation, and Technology Committee, which Councilmember Cordero is the chair of. On July 23rd, there were 2 presentations heard at this committee. One is in regards to energy security and waste reduction in transportation. The Hawaii Department of Transportation shared its draft energy security and waste reduction plan, outlining strategies to improve energy resilience and reduce waste across the state's transportation systems. The presentation highlighted ongoing efforts to adopt more sustainable practices and support the transition to clean energy. You may view the full presentation, which we included in our newsletter as well. And the second presentation was in regards to stream and drainage infrastructure maintenance. The city's Department of Facility Maintenance provided an overview of maintenance of streams and non-stream drainage systems. The presentation addressed current challenges, responsibilities, and efforts to improve infrastructure performance and flood mitigation. We also included the link to that full presentation. I want to highlight a couple of bills and resolutions that are really important in our city and county right now. One is relating to real property tax, Bill 34, 2024. This bill aims to make Honolulu's property tax system fairer by updating tax tiers so that high-value properties and investment-oriented uses contribute a larger share while keeping taxes reasonable for typical homeowners. This bill creates 3 progressive tiers for both residential A and transient vacation unit properties. On the Bill 34 passed second reading as amended at the council meeting on September 3rd and was referred to the Budget Committee for further discussion. Another one is Bill 49, 2025, which also relates to property taxation. This bill proposes raising the homeowners exemptions for residents age 65 and older from $160,000 to $180,000 of assessed property value. If adopted, this increase would take effect beginning within the tax year starting July 1st, 2027. This means qualifying kupuna would pay property taxes on smaller portion of their home value, offering a much-needed relief amid rising living costs. Another one is Bill 50, which seeks to raise standard exemptions for all homeowners occupying their primary residence from $120,000 to $140,000 of assessed property value. Like Bill 49, the change would apply to tax years beginning July 1st, 2027. Both measures aim to support Honolulu's residents by reducing their tax burden and helping them remain in their home longer as housing costs continue to climb. Another one is Bill 52, which is introduced by Councilmember Cordero, which addresses longstanding enforcement gaps related to the maintenance of privately owned ponds and lakes that flow into the ocean. By updating the definition of streams to include these water bodies, the bill ensures that both city-owned and privately owned waterways are responsibly cared for. The bill passed second reading at the council meeting on September 3rd and was referred back to Infrastructure, Transportation, and Technology Committee for further discussion. Another one, important one, is Bill 54, 2025 relating to public transit. The bill proposes updates to transit fares, including an increase in single cash fares from $3 to $3.25, monthly passes from $80 to $90, and annual passes from $880 to $990. A cash fare surcharge is intended to encourage the use of holo cards. It's also reduced the youth fares. The reduced and youth fares will also rise, while holo cards day passes and 2-hour passes will remain unchanged. The bill passed second reading at the council meeting last September 3rd and was referred to the Budget Committee for further discussion. And finally, Bill 62, 2024 relating to motor vehicle registration. This bill proposes a new exemption that allows veterans aged 65 and older who were not dishonorably discharged to pay a reduced annual registration fee of $20 and aims to provide financial relief to seniors, veterans in recognition of their service. The bill passed second reading and was referred back to Budget Committee for further discussion. Okay. Finish with the legislation. I just want to invite everybody to the ʻAiea and Pearl City Town Hall meeting that's going to be, it's going to be on September 25th, Thursday, at Pearl Ridge Elementary School cafeteria. And the focus of this meeting is protecting our kupuna from targeted scams. It's from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I just want to thank everybody who attended 2 of our community meetings relating to bus route changes or bus route modification from ʻAiea to Kahauiki community, to Kahauiki. The service adjustment will take effect in October 16. We also provided on our newsletter of the most recent presentation regarding these changes. That's all my report for tonight, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Board members, any questions for Councilmember Cordero's office? Okay, nothing heard. Community members? Okay, nothing heard. Curtis, anything online? Okay. All right. Thank you for your report. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Councilmember Okimoto's office.
Aloha, good evening, everyone. This is Pua from Councilmember Okimoto's office. I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I'm hoping that everybody has a good week. Councilmember Cordero's office has given the legislative update, so I just wanted to highlight a few things that are within the Honolulu City and County updates. So the one thing is that we want to stay prepared with the H&L alert. Let's see. With the recent tsunami alerts and Hurricane Kiko approaching, it is more important than ever to stay informed. The H&L alert is the City and County of Honolulu's official emergency notification system. You can receive alerts by text, email, or phone and choose the types of emergencies you want to be notified about. You can also add specific addresses such as your home, workplace, and your child's school to get updates that matter most. To sign up, just text H&L alert to 67283 or visit the link at HNLalert.com. The other thing that we wanted to report was a couple of things in our community. There was an investigation of trends relating to speeding on Nahele Street for the past 3 years. The Department of Transportation spearheaded the investigation, resulting that speeding is occurring in the northbound and eastbound directions along Nahele Street between Apala Loop and Apala Loop Mauka intersection and Upu'ala Loop Malka intersection. The Department of Transportation has issued a work order, reference paint and sign work order PSOW 37190 to the Department of Facility Maintenance to install a shoulder parking lanes along Nahele Street. Narrowing effect should help to encourage the speed compliance along Nahele Street between Komomai Drive and P Key Street. Street parking will be retained, while the narrowing effect should help encourage the speed compliance along Nahele Street. Another concern that was answered in our office was Nahele Street between Kiave and Piki Streets. Our speed survey found that the speeding occurring in the northerly and easterly directions along Nahele Street between Apala Loop, Malka intersection, and Upala Loop. Therefore, there will be another work order done by the Department of Facility Maintenance, work order number 37190. So actually those two occurrences or the speeding areas will be the same work order. And when there's any more updates in regards to that work order, then we'll let everybody know on the board. But other than that, I did also put any important websites and links in the chat, such as council members' monthly newsletter, and also Jocelyn came by to drop off the newsletters in person at the board for the board. The Honolulu City and County meeting schedule, the full city council schedule is online as well. And that's my report. If there's any questions, by all means, please, I'm here for that.
Okay, thank you for the report. Board members, any questions for Councilmember Okimoto's office? Okay, nothing heard. All right, community members, any questions for Councilmember Okimoto's office? Okay, thank you for your report. Much appreciated.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. Okay, let's move on. Community reports, ACA. Can I ask for those that are doing the community reports to try to just hit the cliff notes of whatever you're trying to brief tonight? We got like almost an hour of presentations tonight. So just hit the highlights.
New people.
Okay.
That the ʻAiea Community Association is still here. We have been established since 1944. We have been helping this community transition from our blue collar roots to an urban center. We did not want to be part of the urban core, but we are part of the primary urban core. And I can report that the EAH housing, affordable senior housing, has now opened. People have been moving in this past last 2 weeks. So it's not full. If you still want to apply, you can still go. It's really nice. And then we have the library here. And we have something exciting coming up later in your presentation at the board meeting.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions for the ACA? Okay, I just to piggyback on what Claire had said, I think we're fortunate to have the ACA here. They actually act as, we work in a partnership with them. For the new board members, we can't cover everything, okay? So we leverage Claire's support and her team or her community association members to pick up the things that we can't cover, and we try and pick up the things they can't cover. So it's a very good partnership, and I think it does ʻAiea a huge amount of good that we're kind of covering each other on that. Okay, so just take that with you when we're talking with ACA. It's like, and it took me a while to figure out like what's the role of the ACA, but I look at them as sort of like just, it's like Batman and Robin, right? Like, you have the dynamic duo, and both of us are trying to take care of ʻAiea, so, well, Batman has the Batcave. You have the Batcave, Ace. So Claire. but again, our goal together is to take care of ʻAiea, and I think it behooves everybody that we have both of us trying to do that. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on. Hawaii Department of Transportation. Mr.
Good
Aga.
evening, good evening, Chair Woods, members of the ʻAiea Neighborhood Board, Casey Albert from the State Highways. I apologize for missing July's meeting, but I was on vacation leave. I want to thank Senator Elefante for helping to expedite the parking problem along Helekonia Place. With the senator's assistance, our deputy director quickly had our traffic branch investigate the situation and issued a work order for our district maintenance crew to install 3 new no parking signs on the freeway side within the state highways right of way. During my August 4th field inspection, our maintenance crew installed the new no parking signs, so now the city refuge trucks have sufficient space to turn around. I want to thank Senator Alfonte for his August 12th email from constituent Kia Almeida about her concern that vehicles are still parking in the new no parking area on Helekonia Place, and why does Olopana Street have no parking on the freeway side while parking is allowed on Helekonia Place? During my August 19th field inspection, I did notice a tour bus parked within the state no parking area, and fortunately, HPD did tag the vehicle. Olopana Street is under the city's jurisdiction. State Highways jurisdiction ends at the rock wall and planter boxes. So the neighborhood board can work with the city to change the no parking restrictions along the freeway sides of Olopana Street. I want to thank Senator Alfonte for his July 9th email relaying Chair Wood's concern about the overgrowth along the freeway side of Helekonia Place that was expressed during the July 8th neighborhood board meeting. My initial August 4th field inspection, our maintenance crew did manage to cut back the overgrowth during my follow-up August 19th field inspection. I want to thank Tricia from Councilmember Cordero's office for her July 2nd email from constituent Kelly Slur requesting for additional speed humps and speed tables on Bougainville Drive near Radford High School. During my field investigation August 4th, I noticed the roadway near Radford High School belongs to the city, so I would have to refer the request to the mayor's representative. But we did install a raised crosswalk near Hale Keiki School exit, which is within the state highways right away. I want to thank Senator Alfonte for his July 1st email about the graffiti on Kauapani Street overpass and his email back in May 16th about the damaged fence under the H1 viaduct on Kaahele Street near Dave's Ice Cream. Our maintenance crew finally repaired the damaged fence, but after our maintenance crew painted over the July 1st graffiti, the graffiti artist struck again during my field investigation last week. So I'll work with our maintenance crew to paint over the new artwork. I want to thank Representative Shimizu for his July 8th email from constituent Mr. Roy Shishido, requesting to make Kauapani Street safer due to the latest fatality on July 4th at the intersection of Kauapani Street and Mananai Place. The state highways would like the neighborhood board members to discuss and vote on what they want the highways to do to address Mr. Shishido's concern. For example, after talking to Mr. Shishido about his concern, the board can request the state highways to hire a consultant to do a safety study, or they can recommend the installation of raised crosswalks or speed humps. Once the board has decided on their recommendation, I can work with our traffic branch to review the board solution. The bottom line is that we want residents within the ʻAiea neighborhood board area to work with the board members on any concerns they have about the state highways. I want to thank Representative Kong for his July 9th email concerning the palm trees on the Mauka Iwa side of Kaanohi Street overpass. I am working with our maintenance crew on addressing the concern and report back at a future meeting. I want to thank Representative Shimizu for his July 22nd email about dirt and debris on Ala Napunani Street under the H1 freeway. Our maintenance crew cleaned up the debris by Thursday, July 24th. I want to thank Tricia from Councilmember Cordero's office for her July 29th email concerning the faded pavement markings at the intersection of Moanilo Road and ʻAiea Access Road near St. Elizabeth Schools and Church. During my August 4th field investigation, I realized that we do need to restripe the faded pavement markings, and so I'll work with our maintenance crew and report back at a future meeting. Ideally, we should repair the whole area, but unfortunately, it's not scheduled to repave at this time. If the neighborhood board would like the highways to expedite the repaving of this area, I would recommend the board have their state elected officials email our Deputy Director for Highways, Mr. Robert Shishido, and request a timeline for repaving the area to be moved up to an earlier date. And I want to thank Senator Lanfonte for his July 31st email and Google Maps screenshot of the overgrowth at the corner of Lilia Place and ʻAiea Heights Drive overpass. After my initial August 1st field inspection, our maintenance crew managed to cut back the overgrowth during my August 8th field inspection. I want to thank Tricia from Councilmember Cordero's office for her August 7th email from constituent Miss Emmy Suzuki of Sumida Farms concerning the invasive trees and plants adjacent to their watercress farm that may be affecting their watercress production. I also want to thank Ms. Suzuki for emailing these pictures in the slide. During my field inspection last week, our maintenance crew did cut back the overgrowth and remove the invasive trees and plants. I want to thank Tricia from Councilmember Cordero's office for August 8th email from constituent Mr. Stanford Tom concerning the asphalt to concrete transition from the Moanalo Freeway to Moanalo Road. During my field investigation, this is an uneven transition, causing motorists to experience an eye-opening jolt when they drive the vehicle over this transition. I'm working with our maintenance crew to address this concern and report back at a future meeting. I want to thank Representative Shimizu for his August 13th email and pictures of the 2 exit signs with graffiti. During my follow-up inspections, our maintenance crew had removed the graffiti. And I also want to thank Senator Alfonte for his June 2nd email and his August 22nd follow-up email about the damaged delineators near the ʻAiea off-ramp adjacent to the ʻAiea Elementary School. Our Deputy Director is working our maintenance crew on addressing these concerns, so I'll report back at a future meeting. And finally, I would like to thank Representative Shimizu for his September 4th email and picture of the slide, showing on the slide, showing the down regulatory sign at the intersection of Ala Oalani and Moanalo Freeway westbound off-ramp going towards the Kaiser Moanalo Hospital. Our Deputy Director is working with our district maintenance to repair the sign, so I'll report back at a future meeting. This concludes my report. I can take any questions at this time.
Again, I'll say it again. He's got to be the busiest man working. I mean, right? Am I right? Okay. Board members, any questions for Hawaii Department of Transportation? Hey, community members, any questions? Okay. Again, you're a giant among men, Casey. I appreciate everything you're doing and your team. You guys do a great job. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Pro Ridge Shopping Center.
Okay, Chair Wood, members of the board, aloha and good evening. I'll try to run through the highlights as quickly as I can. Planet Fitness will open on or about October 15th. They started their pre-sales and their marketing campaign last week, so we're very excited to finally see them get open. Run down a couple.
Get feedback. Somebody got a phone or something? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Drive Electric Oahu event is being hosted by Drive Electric Hawaii and the Hawaii EV Association. That will be taking place in our Mauka Center Court and Mauka First Level parking lot on Saturday, September 13th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have a Polynesian dance performance by a dance studio based out of Eva Beach. That will be Saturday, September 13th from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the Mauka Center Court. Honolulu Rose Society's Fall Rose Show on Saturday, October 25th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Mauka Center Court. And finally, one of the biggest events of our entire year is our Halloween events. Halloween event on October 30th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. All the kids get dressed up, safe place to do their trick-or-treating. They can go from store to store, get free treats. And we also have a costume contest that evening. That's my report. Questions?
Okay. Any questions per Ridge Shopping Center? Hold on. Before we do that, hey, Casey, are you still on by chance?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Would you, those actions that you wanted the board to take, can you go ahead and give me an email on those, please?
Sure, I'll email it to you. Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Lawrence, back to you.
You know, as far as Planet Fitness, what are the hours of operation?
It's looking like, what I recall, it's going to be 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. And the weekend hours are going to be a little bit shorter than that, actually. I don't have the exact Saturday and Sunday hours.
So the mall is gonna open at 5 a.m. for Planet Fitness?
Yes, 5 a.m.
So how are you gonna control,
Well, we have dialysis that opens at 4 a.m. on that lower level. So we have security there already at that time of the morning. And we plan to use that security officer to help us control access into the shopping center.
oh, so access is gonna be next to that dialysis area then?
Excuse me?
The access to Planet Fitness is gonna be in that lower level by the dialysis?
Yes, when outside of mall hours. That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure.
Any other questions? May?
How do you publicize your activities? I live in Waimalu and I don't know, or I don't pass. Do you have any banners or something in front of your big parking lot? You know, you have a lot of space out there. We see trucks, I think food court or something, but I don't know actually, like you mentioned specific things.
Like a website?
Yeah, or just posters or banners or some, you have a nice frontage, to publicize, because I'm one of those that don't attend those events. So I would like to be informed of that. Yeah. Is there a way to put some banners or, something to a station where people could follow activities, and if it's reoccurring,
Like a booth or something?
yeah,
That's
something to inform the public, because I pass there and I see some food trucks, and some open markets, I think, some people selling things, but other than that, I don't see too much. Yeah, that's my personal thing.
So to just piggyback on what you were saying, do you have something in the mall that has like a bulletin board that shows like upcoming events and things like that? You have the screens, right?
So we have our directories.
Right. But does that
primarily-
show like
Yeah,
upcoming events?
Pearl Ridge online.com is the best way to get all of the information on all of these events.
Is there a way that you could put in both malls, like a area where it would show upcoming events? Like you would have like basically like something like this that you would put up there? I mean, maybe something nicer. I don't know how you want to do that, but as people were perusing the mall, they could see the upcoming events that are coming too.
Yeah, they are on some of our 22 by 27 sign holders. But there are literally so many events that, I mean, we don't have sign holders for all
Right.
of those, but on those directories, we do advertise many of these events as well.
Can you do it on those panels that you guys have, like the directory panels? Can you make a section that says like upcoming events and have listed?
I can look into that. We don't have that right now where we have like one, I mean, they used to have pamphlets
Right.
in the like directories, and they got away from using all that paper.
Correct.
And then,
That's what I'm thinking, like those panels, maybe just having like a link that you could press and it'll go take you to a page, because those things are pretty big, right?
right.
And so you could put a lot of information in there.
All
All right.
I'll look into that.
Yeah, would you look into that?
Sure, I will.
Good suggestion, May. Okay, any other questions, comments? Okay, community members? Okay. Again, I'm always amazed. You do a great job down there. Every time I go there, that mall's packed. So it looks great. So thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing. Okay,
Aloha.
yeah, you got a question?
Alani Lam, and I'm a resident, and I think all of you might feel more hot these days, yeah? It's been really, really hot.
Yeah.
I don't have air conditioning at my house, and
Yeah.
I'm really grateful to you folks for making it so open for us to come in
Yeah.
and use your space. You provide seating, there's food, and sometimes that can save a life
Yeah.
for the kupuna especially, so thank you so much.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much. Really do a great job, David. Okay. All right, let's move on. Stadium Authority.
Aloha Chair Wood, members of the board and members of the community. I'm Chris Kinimaka, Special Projects Manager from the Department of Accounting and General Services. And for the new Aloha Stadium Entertainment District, we have 3 key announcements we'd like to quickly make. The first was that on August 13th, the Stadium Authority did authorize the interim stadium manager to execute 2 key agreements for us. They include the stadium development and operation agreement and an initial ground lease, which when executed will allow Aloha Halava District partners to commence all of the work for demolishing the existing stadium and designing construction of the new stadium. We're happy to include or update that those agreements have been finalized, and we're now just waiting for administrative processes to go through to allow us to fully sign those agreements. Through our negotiation and due diligence phases that we just completed to reach this phase with Aloha Halava District partners, we did get now the input from the industry and the partners on what it will take to construct the stadium. So we did agree in collaboration to shift the completion date for the new stadium from August 2028 to March of 2029. This is a much more reasonable and achievable schedule rather than our aggressive conceptual date that we're looking forward to. And the good news is that this date will not negatively impact the University of Hawaii's Mountain West Conference status. And last but not least, we are looking forward to demolition mobilization to begin in the next few weeks. And we want to give a big mahalo to the City and County of Honolulu, and kudos especially to the Department of Planning and Permitting for really expediting the review and issuance of our demolition permit that's keeping us on schedule. And with that, I'll go ahead and tap Samantha Spain to give you a quick update on the stadium's events and activities.
Samantha, before we get into your section, so Chris, March 2029. So we're not going to make the 2028 UH season.
Not at
Correct?
this point.
Okay.
That's correct.
When is the actuals? What is now the schedule for when the stadium will be tore down?
So
Because we were
the
told it was
activity,
gonna be like July, right? And now it's September.
we are still on schedule for keeping the stadium demolition work to begin before the end of the year. Really, in the next coming weeks, they are going ahead with all of the mobilization. So they have to order materials, get the cranes on site, and what have you. We did just meet, and the team is also looking at what work they can do to begin before all of the heavy equipment and basic materials have arrived. So they are working at expediting demolition to stay on schedule. But by the end of the year, you'll
By
see
the end of the year. Okay.
you'll
So
see the work starting. Yes.
people come and ask me like, hey, when's that stadium going to get tore down? I can say
Right.
by the end of the year.
Yes, you'll see activity.
You won't make a liar out of me.
No, we do, like you said, what happens in the initial stage is what they call cut and cap, where they have to make sure the site is safe, you know, disconnect utilities and what have you, set up the actual safety barrier fencing. Believe it or not, the plywood is a long lead item, as are jersey barriers. So that's some of the challenges that they're dealing with. Again, the key milestone though was getting the permitting and getting all of these agreements in place. So
Is
they
the
are,
is the SWAT meet ready to move?
Sammy can give you an update on that, but they're looking at
We'll get
October
to her in a
1st.
second. I think Russell has a
Yes.
question though. Go ahead, Russell.
Sure.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah. Hi,
On-
Russell.
Your ground lease, when does the rent start, and is the state getting fair market rent?
So the initial ground lease that we're implementing right now is really just for construction laydown for Aloha Lava District partners to begin. The next two agreements we're going to be working on are the Master Development Agreement and a RESIA, that's a reciprocal easement and shared infrastructure agreement. Those will really outline the future development. The lease rent does not begin until the first 30 years of the stadium operation and use agreement expire. And the reason for that is because all of the revenue that comes in from whatever Aloha Lava District partners develops will go into paying for the financing, to pay for the construction of the new stadium, and for the operation of the stadium as well. Stadium operations don't actually make money, and so there is that compensation. But over time, when the 30 years are up, the state will start to collect ground lease rents.
Okay. Kaz?
Hi, do you have a notional schedule that's available, perhaps in a Gantt chart that you could provide to the chair with milestones for this project?
We are still in execution of the contract. Certainly, as soon as we hit that, and we're anticipating that in the next couple of weeks, we can make schedules available. Yes.
I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you. Good question, Chris. Last thing, just had a totally blanked out. Okay, we'll move on. Samantha, unless somebody else has any questions. We'll get to the community for Chris. Okay, yeah, we'll do that right after. Yeah, don't worry. I got you. Okay, go ahead, Samantha, real quick.
I'll be really fast. Okay, so 2 updates. Yes, swap meet, we are on schedule. There's a lot of activity going on right now. Our retail units are in, our coverings are being finalized tomorrow. Restroom plumbing is almost complete. So we are on schedule for the beginning of October. The vendors are very excited about that. You can see the big 50 by 100 tent, which is kind of our rest area, has been moved into place. We've already started laying out our rideshare areas. We've barricaded upper Halava lot so that there's a safety with all of our shoppers in there. We're working on all of our communications plans, which will be out in the next couple of weeks. Smaller work will be done. We're going to be relocating the stage, moving some seating around, installing our PA system, directional signage, things like that. So that's all continuing for the month of September. And then in regards to something fun for the swap meet, we are participating. We're doing an Aloha Festivals giveaway. So starting September 22nd through the 28th, we're going to be featuring our made in Hawaii items and doing a giveaway with over $150 worth of various vendor items. So you can follow us on our Instagram page, our website, and then they'll have all the rules and regulations for that. But we are on schedule, and I know vendors are very excited for the relocation before we hit the holidays. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, community members, board members, any questions? Okay, May, go ahead.
You know, so much publicity is stressed on the swap meet, and even I want to go. But in the new stadium, will there be an area for an activity like the swap meet? Are you going to continue
The
that?
upper Halava parking lot will be
Oh,
there.
it will be. Okay. I just don't know
Yes.
because I didn't go there. Thank you.
Okay. Any other? Okay, community members, sir, you want to come up? Yeah.
The question I have is, are you folks, I heard that you folks gonna build a walkover?
I'm sorry.
A walkover.
Built a walkover?
I heard you folks gonna build it now?
From where to where?
From where to where, sir?
From the rail to the stadium, there's a walkover you guys gonna build?
So one of the things that Aloha Halava District Partners is looking at are ways to make it a lot safer to move from the rail station to the stadium. How that actually happens is still in the works, but definitely we are pushing to separate pedestrian traffic from vehicular traffic.
So my understanding was, based on the plan, is that the Salt Lake into Cam connection that occurs right now will be closed, and it will follow the route that currently loops around. So
Yeah, the question is, from what I heard, that you folks will build the walkover, but originally, they said they was gonna build it, and then they said they wasn't gonna build it because they were worried about unwanted people that's gonna be by the walkover. Then the next thing I hear, they're gonna shut down the 4 lanes and reroute the traffic through the stadium parking lot.
No.
That's what I heard.
No.
Is that true?
I don't think I
No,
heard
sir.
any of the plans.
No, there's a lot of concepts floating around. We really urge you to hold on until Aloha Halava District Partners can set up our next community briefing, and you'll start to see all of the concepts coming into play. We do not have any plan that came up saying that we'd route traffic through the stadium property. Concepts were floated earlier to shut down a portion of Salt Lake Boulevard, as Chair was saying, and routing traffic around the Essex Road section to increase safety for pedestrians. That's still up in the air because we have to work with the state DOT on those concepts. But certainly all of this will be brought to the community to keep you informed and get your feedback. We just don't have the final concepts at this time, sir.
It should build that walkover.
It'd be nice to. There are challenges to that, though.
They should build it. They should not shut down the 4-lane and reroute the lanes going to the parking lot. You're talking about traffic here. When they build this stadium, they will get more traffic. So to think about shutting down the 4-lane and divert the traffic into the rail parking lot to go to camp, it's not there. You're talking about people from Alumano, people from Foster Village, people from all these neighborhoods, all these people pay taxes for these 4 lanes. These 4 lanes should be even considered shutting down. Okay? You as a board members here, if this thing comes up and they're talking about shutting down these 4 lanes, you need to speak up and say, we're not shutting down these 4 lanes. You will be able to walk over. I hope you guys understand that, because right now we have traffic with the 4 lane. And if you're going to divert this thing going to the parking lot, that's going to be chaos. And when the stadium is built, you're going to have more cars coming through there. That's going to be a chaos. Closing down the 4 lane is a no. I hope you folks understand that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank
I
you.
mean,
Thank you.
when this was briefed, one of the things that they talked about was when rerouting it through that Essex was that it actually creates a barrier between the activities that are occurring at the rail, because there's going to be 2 hotels there too. Keep that in mind. And then there's also going to be like other buildings next to the stadium, and it contains all that. Yeah, but it contains it from our neighborhood, right? So like it blocks it off basically by having a 4-lane road there. Okay. I'm explaining how that was explained to me. Yeah. Okay.
But we will be
we'll take
looking
that under
at,
consideration. Yeah.
yeah, and we will be definitely looking at traffic impacts with any of the changes that are proposed to roads and access.
So Chris, so there was a plan for, I know I'm taking up time and I'm trying to keep to the schedule here, but there was he was saying there was an opportunity to where there was a walkway that would go over that area. Do you know how much that would cost? Because I think that is probably one of the bigger concerns.
I think when we looked at it from the state side conceptually, that was actually probably a bit more affordable just because the elevation of the Kamehameha lot where the rail station is actually pretty high, and you can make a straight shot right across into the Aloha Stadium parking lot. Some of the obstacles though were the electrical power lines and such. So yeah, so all of that is being looked at by AHDP. We definitely want to look at improving traffic patterns in that area.
I think if it comes to the board, I'd like to take his, comment into consideration.
Yes.
I would like to know a little bit more information though, in regards to that walkway and how much it would cost compared to like if we didn't do it, right? And what are the pros and cons to it, right?
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Okay. One other thing for you guys, if you could just make sure you clean up the litter along the fence line. It's getting pretty crazy. I appreciate the fence because it doesn't allow the litter go into our neighborhoods, but if you could take a look at that. And I imagine it's going to probably get a little bit worse when the swap meet moves actually down there. So just stay on top of it. And also there's a homeless guy that's basically set up a home right outside your fence line there along Salt Lake Boulevard.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So I believe they are.
He has a TV and a satellite dish as well. So yeah. So okay. All right. So you guys are aware. That's all I'm asking.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got it.
Yep.
All right. Community members, anything else? Okay. All right.
Yep. Mahalo.
Okay. OCCC, can we please keep this really short? I know that you like to go over some of the bills that are being passed, but can we skip that and just if there's anything else that you might want to brief tonight? I do have a whole group of people going down to OCCC on the 16th to do the Halava, is it Halava? No, Kalihi jail walk tour. So I appreciate the warden setting that up with me to do that. Okay, go ahead. Real quick though, please.
Okay, this will be real quick. My name is Chris Kadash. I'm from AHL on behalf of the OCCC design team. I'm joined by Warden Shell and business manager Tessie Fernandez from DCR. Bettina couldn't make it tonight. First up is our newest newsletter, number 60. It's been released last month. This goes over the graduation ceremony in Maui, as well as Father's Day celebrations in Wahiawa Correctional Facility and the Warden's PBS discussion panel, just to name a few of the highlights. Next up is regarding the P3 procurement process. So the OCCC team, along with WSP, have been engaging state leadership about the P3 procurement process. Our last workshop was held August 11th. Those that attended were representatives from the Office of the Governor, House of Public Building Service, Senate Committee on Public Safety, Senate Ways and Means, and Budget and Finance Committee. These workshops are meant to inform state leadership about the P3 process, which may be unfamiliar to some of them. Speakers to this presentation included Mark Polston, Senior Vice President, Transactions and Delivery Strategies from WSP, as well as Bertie Best, Senior Vice President for WT Partnership America. Up next, a reminder about the P3 P3 procurement, DBFM, that's design, build, finance, maintain. One of the main pros to this procurement process is the operations. So the state retains control and responsibility for the correctional rehabilitative services. This procurement process provides private financing to alleviate the large upfront funding obligation of the state. The developer maintains the facility over a predetermined concession period, and then the developer hands over a well-maintained facility at the end of that contract. Financing costs are offset by savings gained elsewhere in the project's life cycle, such as third-party maintenance contracts. In August, there was the American Correctional Association National Conference in Denver. Representatives to the OCCC design team included DAGS, DCR, AHL, and WSP. This conference was another success in that there was still national interest in the project. We had a double booth-wide section there. And along with the conference was the release of an updated video, and that's posted online at the new wahujail.hawaii.gov website. This is our monthly outreach calendar for August. This notes the ʻAiea Community Association meeting in dark green, the release of the newsletter in red, the yellow is the ACA conference dates, and the brown is the Oversight Commission meeting. And to wrap it all up is our project timeline. We're currently in the middle of 2025. So moving forward, this project does need continued broad support from the administration, legislature, and the community themselves. I'd like to emphasize that the project completion date still remains unchanged. That's it for this presentation. As mentioned earlier, there's going to be an OCCC tour for the new ʻAiea board members, as well as they're open to other board members attending as well from other districts. With that, I'll take any questions.
Okay, board members, any questions for OCCC? Okay, community members, any questions for OCCC? Okay, nothing. Hey, I just want to give a big thanks to the warden for hosting this tour. I think the more visibility in terms of the conditions and the work environment that the guards and the warden has to live in will definitely garner more support for a new jail. Thank you again for that. Okay, it's the same tour we did, May. Yeah, same exact one.
Oh crap, how'd I?
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Okay, Lydia for Navy.
Yes, I will make it quick, Chair and board members. You have our report, highlights from the weekly Mo'olelo, and also just in the news side, you've seen we've started the platform removal on USS Arizona. Unfortunately, that has impacted some of the visits to the Arizona Memorial. but we talk with the Park Service every day to figure out when boats can go out. Also, we have a story on the Navy ROTC program at UH. We're continuing ship tours. Hopefully we'll get the USS Daniel Inouye available in October. We'll let folks know about the dates that those are available. The next white boat, October 10th, which is the weekend of the Navy birthday, which is October 13th. And then with Lolima, we have reached 272 acts of community service that we're documenting, and we appreciate the community there reaching out to us to let us know of opportunities for our sailors, civilians, and family members to participate in. I have Lieutenant Longo from Navy Closure Task Force who will provide a couple of updates, and then we're available to answer questions. Lieutenant Longo.
Thank you, Lydia. Good evening, Chair Wood, board members, and community members. Lieutenant Longo here to provide just a couple updates from highlighting out of today's Navy report. The first is our 25th edition of the Red Hill Highlights, was published today and is available on the NCTF Red Hill app, website, or by clicking in the report that we sent out today. NCTF Red Hill will also host its quarterly informational webinar on September 24th from 5 to 6 p.m. It will cover worker and contractor safety. You can check out this week's Red Hill Highlights, the mobile app, or the website for more information. I believe a flyer was also sent out in our Navy report email to the board. We have 2 more drinking water information booths that will occur this month. There is a information booth that will occur at the Navy Exchange Mall on Bougainville. That's going to be Thursday, September 18th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There's also a drinking water information booth that will be held on at the Capilina Night Market, and that will be Wednesday, September 24th from 4 to 8 p.m. Trying to keep it brief, so pending any question, that concludes the Navy Closure Task Force Red Hill update. If anyone has any questions, I'll stand by. Otherwise, thank you all for your time.
Okay, board members, Lawrence.
Yeah, the past meeting, we were discussing reactivation of the Halava shaft. And what was the status? And according to the Navy, they're waiting for Department of Health to give them the green light. But according to Department of Health, they're actually waiting for the Navy to complete some action items. Installation of granulated activated carbon treatment, ion exchange treatment, disinfection systems, including sampling taps for ongoing monitoring, submission and Department of Health review of pilot study on PFAS removal and related water quality data, full compliance with federal and state regulations governing public water systems, including mandatory 24-hour reporting of any condition that could impact the water source, a minimum 10-day advance notice to Department of Health prior to any reactivation of source. Seems like the Navy is waiting for Department of Health. Department of Health is waiting for the Navy. So I talked to Chair Wood and I was wondering if we could have Department of Health and the Navy attend our board meeting so we can get everything straightened out.
I'm just taking a couple quick notes on your question here. And I just want to reiterate the question in regards to, as it sounds, some frustrations regarding to a bit of back and forth information on where the status stands with the activation of the Navy ʻAiea Halava shaft. And your specific question, if I'm hearing you correctly, is can the board have a representative from DOH and DON to speak specifically on the status of the reactivation? Is that correct?
That's correct, because the Navy is saying they're waiting for Department of Health. Department of Health is saying they're waiting for the Navy. So if you guys are both waiting for each other, basically nothing gets done.
Yeah, we're trying to bring you guys together.
Understood. I appreciate your frustrations and thank you for your question. I'll take it back to leadership so that it can be discussed. And Chair, I can have the team get a response to you via the email listed on the website.
Yeah, this isn't the first time we've had to do this. We've had to do this continuously over the time that the Red Hills situation has occurred. So this is not an unknown or new thing. This is something that we've done in the past, and it's worked out pretty well, actually. So if your leadership, if they're new and they haven't been really involved and they're hesitant about doing it, this is something even Lydia can speak to, that we've had representatives come in and talk it out. So, okay.
Okay, thank you, Chair Wood. Thank you, board members.
Thank you.
Okay, any other board members, anything for Navy? Okay, community members, anybody online? Okay, all right, all right. Thank you guys for your report. Much appreciated. All right, Hawaiian Electric.
Thank you.
Okay, nothing heard? Okay, great. Okay, now we're gonna move on. Community concerns. Before we get into community concerns, sir, you know the light when you make a left at, you came and reported to this board about the traffic conditions and like people like having accidents and hitting your wall, yeah? So I had the city actually come out and take a look at that. They're not going to put a new light in, but they are going to put signage up to say, yield to oncoming traffic. They're going to put signage right there that says yield to oncoming traffic on both sides. Well, I mean, you don't turn into that left area, but they're not going to put a light. They said they're not going to put a light. Okay. Yeah, they're going to do that though. Yeah, because they asked me to actually resubmit the ticket to like say like put a yield sign in or whatever. Yeah. Oh, the microphone. Yeah.
Since we're talking about the sign that you
Yeah.
just did, the reason why we have all these accidents is because deceiving left turn, like you said,
Yeah,
the sign,
yeah.
but the speed of the cars coming
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
right? We only have two signs, 25 miles an hour sign.
Okay.
One is by the Halava housing,
Right.
and one is down close to the stoplight. In between, there's nothing. We need more signs telling these people it's 25 miles an hour to slow down.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put in a ticket for speed mitigation?
Yeah. Also, there's a crosswalk
Yeah, up on the upper
in
part
the
there.
corner.
Yeah.
There's no indication that there's a crosswalk there. No
Okay.
signs telling the cars that coming down from.
Yeah.
There's none.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a couple of years now.
Okay. Okay.
But we need to stick at that because somebody's going to, it's right around the corner, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I walk that every
I
day.
know.
So
I see you out there
you
sometimes.
gotta pay attention or you will get
Yeah.
run over.
With your headphones on.
Yeah, but you need to,
Okay.
yeah, address that.
Okay, I will. Okay. All right. Community members, any other concerns or comments? Ma'am, come on up.
Hello. Sorry. Okay. So, Catholic Charities has a special treatment facility on KKLE Street, and it's a 24/7. It operates 24/7, so that means they do have 3 shifts. So what is happening now is because of the 3 shifts and all of the, I guess, healthcare employees and all the employees that are servicing these youths, they are parking their cars illegally on ʻAiea Street, which is the main drag. And so what we did was we put in a ticket to the, no, for the city and county.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
put in a ticket for an RPT.
Oh, is that what it's called? Okay. Okay, yes, because we did our research and we talked to HPD, and HPD did give us a pamphlet that says that cars parked on the street should be parked 30 feet away from a stop sign. So what we're requesting is when we come out of KKLE Street, and we're going on the main street, there's like SUVs parked on both sides of the street. So when we exiting KKLE Street, it is so dangerous. We have to come out at least in the middle of the streets, the ongoing cars coming up, in order to see them. And it's just an accident waiting to happen.
Okay. So you guys put in a ticket for that?
Yes, we did.
Okay, do you have the ticket number?
Yes, I do. Do you need it?
Please.
Okay, it's 5391921. And so we were thinking if they could put some kind of sign like no parking from here to curb, or at least mark the curb to let them know where they're supposed to be parking and so that they
Haku?
don't park
Sorry, ma'am,
illegally.
just for a second. Haku, are you on? Is Haku still on? Okay, I'll reach out to Haku with that. It's
Okay.
539-121.
Yes, correct. 539-1921.
Oh, 1921.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, she's online. Okay. All right. Regardless, I'll reach out with that ticket number and we'll
Okay.
make sure that happens. But also, do you guys need me to show you how to submit for an RPZ? Or can you think you figure that one out? There's a in that 311 that you guys did to submit the ticket, there's an area where it says RPZ and you can submit it there.
Oh,
And that'll start the process to get your area as a RPZ. And basically what that RPZ will do is you'll be given like a, we went through it with these guys as well too, when we were talking with the Nualu building, but they'll give you like passes and they'll issue 2 per house or whatever. And then that will allow each house to have like 2 visitor passes that they can be allowed to park on the street. And that's it. Like
Okay.
anybody else can get towed.
Okay.
I thought we were gonna put like signs first, like no parking
So-
from here to the partner.
Well, that's up to you guys if you guys want
Yeah.
to do that, but
Okay, well, we can
I'm recommending that you guys probably do
Can
an
you
RPZ.
follow up? Okay.
Okay, take a look
Yes.
at that.
All
okay?
right.
Yeah, it's worked in Kalihi, it's worked in other areas where we've had issues with parking before. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
okay. Hey, you guys also got the Community Safety Action Plan? I sent it today.
Yes.
Okay, and with Catholic Charities, notes and edits in there. Basically, as the residents, I want you guys to put your comments back in there and send it back to me, okay? And then we'll go from there at that point. All right? Okay,
All right.
so take a look.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. Anybody else, community concerns? Online, we have somebody online. Who? Hua? Okay.
Aloha, Chairwood. I just wanted to double check about the Catholic Charities incident of the parking.
Yeah.
That's it. Is that the ticket for HPD? Did you guys call HPD regarding that?
No,
The
they put
illegal-
in a ticket on the 311 app. Let me give you
Oh.
the number.
Yeah, because they can do a RPZ. That would be a certain application for private parking that they would be issued 2 permits. Or if they know that it's,
RPZ.
you know,
They can
people
do an
that are
RPZ, they
consistent
just need to
parking.
put in the ticket for it to start the process.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me give you
Okay.
this ticket number, 539
Okay.
191,
539.
right?
Yes, 539-1921, but we did not put the RPZ.
Yeah, they haven't done the RPZ yet.
Okay, yeah, that process is something that has to be, it's asking for like private parking. That's like creating a private parking area and they get issued 2 permits. Or 2 parking tickets per household
See, that's
based
what I just
upon what the application is. So,
She
yeah,
wasn't listening.
Chairwood is right.
Just said, so, yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want to verify. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
And I got that for you. Mhm.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Oh, Tara, community concern?
Hi, this is Tara Sutton from the Red Hill Registry. My camera, for some reason, is not working, but I just thank you everybody for the work that you're doing. I just wanted to, again, let everybody know about the Red Hill Registry if there's anybody new. Also, we are open with our enrollment. People can now join the registry. It is only opt-in, so we can't have data unless people join and give their data. But we are looking for everybody who were in or on or around the Navy water line during the 2021 fuel spill. If you were on the water line or around it before or after, that is still fine. Just go to redhillregistry.org and click the button that says join the registry so that we can work towards eliminating the gap of knowledge about the long-term health effects of exposure to jet fuel in our drinking water. That is all I have. Thank you. Unless there's a question.
Okay, can you go ahead and put that link in the chat for us, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, anybody else? Going once, going twice. Okay, we're gonna, oh, we do have somebody else. Okay, one more. Oh, Francie has one question too? Okay.
Not a question, just a announcement.
Okay, we'll get to you, Francie, in a second. Ma'am, go ahead.
I want to clarify, I put in that request. It wasn't an RPZ request, it was a request for a sign.
I understand.
Yeah, so it's on Haley Street, we want the sign.
Yeah, we understand.
Yeah, so that number is not for the RPZ. So do we have
No,
to submit something
we understand
else
that.
now? Do we have to submit something else for
Yes, you do.
RPZ? So I have to
Yes.
put another one in then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an actual section that says RPZ, and that's where you put it in at. Yeah. Okay. All right, Francie.
Aloha, Chair and neighborhood board members. I was recently elected to, or not elected, but added to the Pearl Harbor Hickam Kalailoa RAB as one of the 6 new board members after they finalized the charter. Our next meeting is going to be on January 14. And so stay tuned on details for that. But we do still have 6 more vacancies for the Pearl Harbor Hickam Kalailoa Restoration Advisory Board. So if you're interested, just let me know or contact Steve Wood, Chair, and he can pass that on to me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, with that, I'm going to wrap up community concerns because we're already 20 minutes behind schedule. Okay, moving on to board business. Approval of the written summary for video record Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. Is there anybody wants to make a motion to pass the minutes as recorded, video recorded Tuesday, July 8th, 2025? Anyone want to make a motion? Tracy? Tracy? Okay, anybody want to second the motion? Jane? Okay. Any objections to the minutes as they were videotaped or video recorded on Tuesday, July 8th, 2025? Okay, nothing heard. All right, those minutes have been passed. Okay, moving on. Presentations. Okay, let's start off with the presentations. Just for, visible, I don't know what you would call it. Anyways, whatever. Yes, thank you, May. Whatever. Yes. Just to put it out there, Dr. Sparks actually works with me. She, but I think what she is doing with her private, or I should say, with her public community service thing is worthwhile. So I just want to be disclosed that to you folks, okay? That I know this person outside of this. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's start with that. Cyber Seeds, how to empower families and communities to navigate the digital world. Dr. Sparks, please go ahead. The floor is yours.
Aloha, and thank you for having me. Yes, it's wonderful to work with Steve Wood in the DoD, but since being here on the island, I have seen a need and started a nonprofit. So mahalo nui for the opportunity to be here with you this evening. I am extremely grateful for the warm welcome so far. I want to take a moment to introduce a newly established nonprofit that I founded called Cyber Seeds. If you Google it, it's cyberseeds.org. Our mission is to empower families, youth, and small businesses to build healthy and balanced relationship with technology through education, resources, and community engagement. Tonight, I'm here in spirit of partnership to share our work with you and to ask for your support and to explore ways we can engage together for a well-being and safety of our Keiki, Kupuna, and broader community. Cyber Seeds is a 501c3 nonprofit organization founded here on Oahu Island to help families, youth, and small businesses build healthy and balanced relationships with technology. Our mission is to foster digital responsibility and equip communities with the tools they need to thrive in an online world that is rapidly changing. In addition to our family-focused workshops and partnership, for example, Tech Savvy Kids who support Kapunas, Cyber Seeds recently participated in a workforce development initiative where we taught cybersecurity fundamentals and introduced digital literacy to participants. This engagement reflects our commitment to not only building awareness of online risks, but also preparing the workforce with the skills needed to stay safe and competitive in today's digital environment. By combining community education, youth empowerment, and small business outreach, CyberSeed serves as a bridge between people and technology. We believe that together, through awareness and collaboration, we can plant the seeds of change and secure a safer, healthier digital future for Oahu. That is all I have today. Are there any questions?
Community member, or I'm sorry, board members, any questions? All right, community members, any questions? Dr. Sparks, would you be able to put like links in the chat so that way people can navigate to the website and learn more about what you're doing?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you for coming. Much appreciated. Okay, moving on to the Ka'amilo Wells GAC treatment project status update.
Good evening, Chair, members of the Neighborhood Board, and members of the community. My name is Mark Chun. I am with the Honolulu Board of Water Supply. I come here, in a sense, kind of apologetically, as you see it go forward here. I'm here to talk about a temporary water treatment system that we have at our Ka'amilo Wells. Ka'amilo Wells, what is it? It's one of several wells that we have serving the ʻAiea Halava area. Excuse me. We call it ʻAiea Halava, but it basically comes all the way from Kaunoi Street, that ridge, going all the way to Halava side. We have, next slide, please. Sorry, Tracy. I can continue on. The facility itself is, if you think of ʻAiea High School football field, it's on the west side across the street, across Ka'amilo Street. There's a facility there. The next slide that's going to come up basically has two wells. Well, here's the agenda. Yeah, we're gonna talk about what Ka'amilo Wells is, what we're doing there, why we're doing it, and when will this happen. So as far as what Ka'amilo Wells are, it's, like I said, an important contributor to the area. We've got 2 well pumps there, as well as 2 booster pumps, which serves the upper ridges. But again, it's one of several facilities that serve the overall ʻAiea Halava area. I'm going to be talking specifically about Ka'amilo Wells and what we're doing there. However, the next couple of slides, I'd like to call up Manager Lau to go ahead and explain some of the greater context of this situation.
Aloha, everybody. Ernie Lau, Manager and Chief Engineer for the Honolulu Board of Water Supply. This is just to provide some context. So circled in red is the Ka'amilo Well location. It's over near ʻAiea High School area. But to the right, you can see, actually, if you go back previous slide, that'll be actually better. Yeah, there we go. So this is to just orient you. Circled in red is the Ka'amilo Well location. It's away from the Red Hill facility, which outlined in orange is actually the Navy Red Hill property itself. And the yellow dots represent different monitor wells they've installed on their property, mostly on their property, but also off property. The Navy's ʻAiea Halava shaft is shown there with that blue dot just above Aloha Stadium, if you can see Aloha Stadium there. And our Ka'amilo Wells is further to the northwest. Next slide, please. So this colorful slide, which has a lot of different color lines like a rainbow here, actually is from a Navy groundwater flow monitoring report, their latest version of that report, which is still under review by the Department of Health and US EPA. The lines represent what they call flow lines or particle tracks based on the groundwater model. They've now tried to predict where particles of water might flow in what direction. And you can see it originates on the right at those at the Red Hill facility. And you can see different color lines headed toward the northwest. I just want to point out that even though it's hard to see on this, there are actually some lines that even lead to Ka'amilo Wells. But you can see now the relationship between Ka'amilo Wells and the Red Hill facility. And based on the Navy's latest groundwater flow model, what they think might be the flow direction or particle track, particles of water moving up in the underground aquifer. So I'll just pause there if there's any questions on these 2 slides.
Ernie, I do have a question. I think last time you were here, you were talking about the plume flowing uphill.
No, actually, the gradient or the top of the water table where the Red Hill tanks are, it's actually 2 to 3 feet higher than as you go toward the west. It actually slopes downhill. So the water levels in the Camila wells are actually lower than the water levels at Red Hill.
Okay, so it's not going to go uphill. It's just following
No,
basically gravity.
The laws of physics, you know,
Yep.
the water flows downhill. And when we measure the water levels in this area, we do it on a regular basis at different monitor wells. We just confirm that it is a kind of a slope down from the Red Hill area toward the west or northwest.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, so where are we looking at this plume going from here?
I think that's, Chair, that's a big question. And I'm not saying that the contaminants of concern that we are installing the temporary water treatment system at Camila Wells is actually PFAS, fluoride chemicals. And at Red Hill, I'm not saying it's coming from Red Hill because I'll be severely criticized for saying that it's coming
Well,
from Red Hill.
yeah, I remember you last time here, I was a little incredulous because you were like, oh, it could be this, but it could actually been like a gas station or something. That actually could be.
Yeah, from what we know, where are we finding PFAS in wells in this area? So I'll say that there's PFAS at the Navy's ʻAiea Halava shaft, and they've told us that there's PFAS there. We're finding PFAS at Camila wells to the level that we have to install a treatment system. We have our ʻAiea well, our Halava wells and our Halava shaft also detecting PFAS. Those are shut down and not operational since the Red Hill spill in November 2021. So we're finding PFAS at different wells in the area. I'll just say that I think Francie mentioned the Restoration Advisory Board for Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam and Kalailoa. That Restoration Advisory Board is also looking at an investigation that the Navy is conducting at Red Hill for PFAS contamination. And you can find it on their website, Red Hill ERN at .com.
Okay.
RedHillERN.com. That'll give you the latest information about the Red Hill PFAS investigations. And we're watching that very closely. And just to announce too that Joyce Lynn from my office and myself, we also were voted on to the Restoration Advisory Board. We feel it's very important to understand what's happening with the investigations and what they're going to do to clean up the contamination. So the need for the Camila Wells treatment system, again, is to treat for PFAS contaminants, particularly perfluoro and PFOS, perfluorooctanoic sulfate, I think, or sulfide, but PFOS. I'll turn it back to Mark to talk a little bit about the temporary water treatment system. It's going to be activated carbon. Just to point out to everybody that we already actively treat at 12 different locations in central Oahu using activated carbon. So we have a lot of experience with activated carbon filtration systems. Mark, go ahead.
Thank you, Manager. All right, so what are we doing there? Really narrowing back down to Camila Wells itself. On the long term, as Manager Lau said, that we have been detecting PFAS in several different wells, Camila being one of them. And so that's become one of our high priority sites where we want to install a long-term type of solution, a permanent water treatment system. So we've got a design going on there, and ultimately it's going to have a construction going on. I'll explain some of the whys after this. In the short term, though, we will be installing a temporary water treatment system. And that would be a picture up there shows our GAC vessels that will be actually on site, roughly about where those two red dots are, or red circles are on the drawing. You'll see some piping along there, as well as we'll put temporary security fencing, definitely around the GAC vessels that we're actually looking towards along Camila Street as well too. All in an attempt to go ahead and make sure that people don't go in there and either get hurt or try to damage any of the equipment. Next slide. So why are we doing this? Manager Lau talked about PFAS. MCLs were finalized in April 2024. You guys have probably heard a lot about these forever chemicals, so I'll spare you that. Enforcement will be in April 2029. So the long-term plan for making these permanent constructions to be finished in April 2029, so that we don't have to worry about what we've been seeing. What we have been detecting is below MCL. So we're actually being proactive. We want to make sure that we provide safer water to the public. Recent measurements, though, have been getting numbers a little closer to the MCL. And that kind of triggered the idea that, right, let's not give this water out to the public. So we shut down the wells in May 2025. However, it's the summertime. It's really hot, as you guys can tell. Water use is actually up all over the place. And now we're at a stage where we have only a few well stations in this area. As Angela talked about, Halava wells and ʻAiea wells are been shut down because of Red Hill. So we have less redundancy. So we didn't want to risk possibly losing another well, and now we don't have enough capacity. Therefore, we said we need to go ahead and put in a temporary water treatment system here. In the event that something else goes on, we can at least get water out to the public. That it triggered this kind of a fast-moving type of process to go ahead and get the treatment system in. Next slide, please. So when would this happen? And this is why I say I come up here apologetically. We went via emergency procurement. So basically, as soon as possible, we want to get this thing in place. Ground preparation work. Well, we had a lot of contracting work, a lot of technical meetings with the contractors to figure out what we can actually do. Ground preparation work actually started last week. If anybody drove by there, you'll see they actually put some pads out there. We actually started delivering the JC vessels today. I actually drove out here before I came here. And yes, it is out there. Tomorrow, we should actually have it installed in the location itself. And then there's a pipeline work that will continue on for the next few weeks. And we'll also be working with, of course, Department of Health to make sure everything is all set up before we go ahead and turn it on and get it off commission. So that's where the commissioning and certification is to follow. But that's the kind of timing we have. We actually have it installed. We're trying to get it up to speed and running. Next slide, please. Actually, I think that was it. Yeah, at this point.
I just want to stress that we talked to at the Department of Health, it's actually the Safe Drinking Water branch. Board member Higa, that you're probably got that information from the Safe Drinking Water branch. So we're talking to them on a regular basis. Mark is our project lead on this. The reason why we want this treatment system to go in and we need it to go in is that because of the Red Hill situation, we shut down 2 well stations that normally would serve the ʻAiea Halava water system, and this including this community. And without those 2 wells, we don't have much redundant capacity. And what we've seen in the water demand in the ʻAiea Halava system actually increase. We're seeing that now the demand is over 3 million gallons a day. And prior to that was 2.7 million gallons a day. So we need to get this communal wells, and this treatment system is actually to only treat 1 well. So 1 well can pump, and that'll give us a little bit more capacity to meet the peak demands in the ʻAiea Halava community. I do want to commend the ʻAiea Halava community for your water conservation efforts. That's really made a difference. I ask you to continue those efforts right now, especially it's really dry. Even though we've had some rain recently, look at the grass on the side of the road. They're all brown and dry. So I ask your kokua, fix and repair leaks, only use what you need. There are 7 easy tips we can provide to everybody. It's on our website, boardofwatersupply.com. But we need your kokua also in conserving water. We're available for any questions from the board and from the community here.
Right. Thank you. Lawrence.
As far as the MCL level, what is the level, what is the current level of that PFAS in that well?
It's very close to 4. So the MCL that will be enforced starting in 2029 is at 4.0 PPT, parts per trillion for PFOS. Yeah.
Okay, so after it goes through the granulated activated carbon filter, what is the level after it gets out through that filter?
I think we're going to get it down to probably close to the limits of detection, Mark, which is about 2 parts per trillion. Right now, the laboratory analysis can detect down reliably to 2 parts per trillion. So with the activated carbon, we're going to take it down to that level.
Okay, and as far as the service and maintenance, how often you gotta change out that filter media?
That's a good question because the carbon's life is finite. As it filters out contaminants which get attached to the carbon particles in the tank, it reaches a point where it's absorbed as much as it could, and it can't treat anymore. So then you'll see the levels coming out of the tank or out of the filtration system start to rise. That means you're probably at the point where we call breakthrough. So you need to replace the carbon. I'll ask Mark to share maybe some of the details of the anticipated life before change out, of the carbon. Mark?
Can I follow up? So as far as those filters, you have installed it at other wells on island.
Yes, we have 12. Sometimes I get mixed up. It's either 12 or 13 locations where we are filtering, not for PFAS right now, but for trichloropropane, TCP, which is a legacy pesticide used by the large agricultural operations, plantations, mainly pineapple, as a nematicide, a soil fumigant. So we've been using that since the 80s.
Okay. So it is electronically monitored. So when that MCL level gets up to a critical level, it automatically sends out.
No, there is no real, as far as I know, and I could be wrong, but I don't think there is a automatic testing system that'll sample and test and give you a reading that's reliable to that low levels. So we still need to take samples. And what we're doing right now with our wells is sampling on a weekly basis, sending it to a qualified lab to run the analysis that can detect down to the low parts per trillion range.
Okay, so just as a guide for a layperson, would those filters need to be changed out like once a year?
I'll
every
ask
5
I'll
years?
ask Mark to kind of respond to that question, sir.
So great questions. Roughly once a year. Now let me back up a step. The overall project I talked about long-term design, we actually have taken GAC and a few other materials, filter materials, and put it in a bench scale test to get an estimate of how long it would take. The amount of PFAS we're actually measuring in these wells actually is really small. And so it actually does take a while for it to break through. So the estimates are once a year, maybe it would last maybe even longer than that. And so right now, any of our estimates as far as how often we change out ʻAiea wells will be once a year. It may be longer than that. It may last longer than that. We'll be testing the water continuous, like I said, once a week at different levels within the GAC before it breaks through so that we know to change it up.
So as far as that water coming out, is it something critical where you need backup power on those pumps?
No, the station itself is just running off like how the well pumps normally run. So it's electricity to run those well pumps, and it's the pressure from that puts it through the GAC vessel. So there's nothing additional on top of it.
Oh, so there's no electrical powered water pumps that drive it through the.
No, not for this treatment system. No.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Okay, board members, any other questions? Tracy?
So you said the usage over here in our area is about 3 million gallons per day.
Yeah.
So what is the capacity for this system over here to help alleviate that capacity?
This one is close to, I think, 1 million a day. It'll add 1 million gallons of additional well capacity. That currently we shut it down in May of this year until we can get this temporary treatment system up and running, approved by the Department of Health. We will start construction on it, but we can't really turn it on and provide water into the system until the Department of Health gives all approvals.
Next question was, so this is a temporary thing. So what is a long-term solution? Because PFAS is, unlike petroleum-based products, is water soluble, yeah?
Yes.
So what is the long-term for this particular location then?
So the long-term is actually a permanent water treatment system. Right now, we're using activated carbon, but in the future, that might include going to additional treatment called ion exchange. So that's a permanent water treatment system will be a fact of life for this well station for us.
So with the permanent system, will that up the capacity as well too?
Yeah, we're going to look at now being able to hook up 2 wells. But I think under normal operation, even before this situation occurred at ʻAiea wells, we normally would operate only 1 well at a time.
Last question. So the testing that you guys do, is it local or mainland? And the reason why I ask, because if it's a local testing, the turnaround for getting the results is a lot quicker, right?
Unfortunately, there's no real capacity locally in state to do this test. Because when you're testing down at the parts per trillion range, you're almost having to have clean room conditions in the laboratory. So we do go to what we feel is a very competent laboratory that we've reused for many years in California.
So what is the turnaround time for getting the results? Because if it gets elevated, right, there's going to be a lag in you guys finding out.
Yeah,
these
it's about
results, right?
two weeks. So that's why you keep on monitoring. If you see any kind of rise, remember, we're going to take it down from close to 4 down to about 2 parts per trillion. So we see it go to like 3. That might be an indicator that maybe we're starting to approach breakthrough. That point, we'll look at taking it offline, replacing the carbon in the contactor. When we build the permanent facility, we'll have redundancy, so we can take contactors offline. But right now, under this emergency situation, we're going with 2 contactors.
Okay. With that, we're going to go ahead and move on. Thank you for you guys for coming in and reporting that. Much appreciated. It's good to see that some of the things that the last time you guys came in and reported might not necessarily be occurring. So, okay, so let's move on. Hawaii Bicycling League Walk, Bike, Drive Program.
Hello, Chairman Steve. This is Paula Bender, Walk, Bike, Drive Coordinator for the Hawaii Bicycling League. I'm going to try to share my presentation, and if that does not succeed, I will just read the information, if that's okay with everybody.
Absolutely. Continue on.
Thank you. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Looks like I'll be doing some reading here.
Well, ma'am, our aide has the slides, so he'll go ahead and do the slides for you.
Oh, mahalo. Thank you. It has an audio, and then when it's done, I could I'll take questions and I'll.
Okay, just a video. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start that video.
Mahalo.
Hawaii Bicycling League's Walk, Bike, Drive presentation encourages road users to drive with aloha. The Walk, Bike, Drive program is funded by an HDOT grant to highlight the importance of pedestrian and bicycle safety on Hawaii's roads. Whether we walk, bike, or drive, safety is everyone's responsibility. The Vulnerable Road Users Law is part of a broader effort to enhance safety on Hawaii's roadways by addressing the risks faced by those traveling outside of motorized vehicles, such as pedestrians and cyclists. So far in 2025, the entire state has more than doubled its traffic fatalities over 2024. The average number of traffic deaths from 2014 through 2024 included 28 pedestrians, nearly 28 motorcycles and mopeds, 4 bicycles, and nearly 44 motor vehicles. Whether on foot, on a bike, or in a vehicle, commuters are a traveling ohana. We recognize license plates, stickers, and company logos. We merge with a wave, or better yet, a shaka. And when there is a crash, we learn just how close we are to each other. Here are a few things to keep in mind when sharing the road with cyclists. Respect the green bike boxes. That gives bicyclists a head start on a narrow section to reach the bike lane. Remember, when in a crash, the cyclist will always be more vulnerable no matter who was right legally. When passing, allow for 3 feet between your vehicle and a cyclist, even if it means waiting a few seconds to do it safely. Share when you see sharrows, which are placed where cyclists cannot safely drive on the shoulder of the road. What are cyclists telling you? Understand the road signals used by cyclists. Left arm pointed down or right arm behind back means the cyclist is stopping. Left arm outstretched means the cyclist needs to switch to the left lane or to make a left turn. Left arm pointed up or right arm outstretched indicates the cyclist is making a right turn. At a recent NOAA Hurricane Awareness meeting, HBL Executive Director Travis Council provided another reason bicycles make sense. During and following an emergency weather event, a human-powered bicycle is most reliable, especially if power outages persist, the internet is down, and roads are blocked to motor vehicles. Everyone has the right to be safe on Hawaii's roads. This precept in Hawaiian law originated with King Kamehameha I in 1797. The law was added to the state constitution in 1978. Please, kokua, make the right decisions. Driving with aloha means everyone has a great day. Please send your comments or questions to Walk Bike Drive Coordinator Paula Bender at paula@hbl.org. Mahalo.
All right, board members, any questions? Okay, ma'am, unless you have something else you want to say, we thank you for the presentation and appreciate the all that you're doing in regards to bike safety.
Mahalo, Steve, Chairwood, and everybody at the ʻAiea board and community. Appreciate your time. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, have a good day. Okay, restricted use pesticides program. Hi, okay, you're here. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Mahalo for having me. I am having Curtis assist me because I couldn't bring my computer today, but I really appreciate you folks taking the time. Yeah, that's perfect. So my name is Yvonne Yoro. I am filling in actually for Ella Alexander, who with our other interns are part of the Climate Future Forum, and they also serve with our office. I'm from the Office of Representative Peruso, and we're going around to all of the neighborhood boards and sharing about our pesticide education campaign. So you folks are, I think, maybe 10 on our list. So I really appreciate it. And I'll try to keep this short. It can go a little longer, but I've sent this to Curtis. So you folks have this on your drive if you want to look at the slides further. But if you, go to the next slide. So we'll just start with a baseline. The reason why I'm here is our office is working on a pesticides education campaign. We're sharing about some restricted use pesticides that are being sprayed primarily in West Kauai, as well as mostly North and Central Oahu. But there's parcels all around the island, as well as the other islands. And we just want to educate the public on some of what's happening and how it affects you. You folks are probably more commonly are familiar with general use pesticides such as Roundup, things you use in the home to tend to weeds, unwanted bugs on your produce or any of your plants in your garden. But restricted use pesticides, if you go on to the next slide, are pesticides that are not available for purchase or used by the general public due to their potential for causing unreasonable adverse effects on the environment or human health. So with our work, with help from our nonprofit organization, HAPA, Hawaii Alliance for Progressive Action, the state legislature passed Act 45 in 2018 and enacted in 2019 that puts reporting requirements on the use of restricted use pesticides in our communities. And right now, oh, sorry. Do you have?
Can you give us an example of what a restricted use pesticide is?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go into
Okay.
it a little bit
Thanks.
in the next slide. But restricted use pesticides, so they're really harmful to our environment, really harmful to our human health. These two in particular, so 1,3-dichloropropene, and or I'll call it 1,3-D moving forward, and metamsodium, they're soil fumigants that are used to control things like nematodes or soil-borne pests. And the one on the right side, so metamsodium, as you can see with both of these restricted use pesticides, over thousands of pounds were sprayed in 2019. If you folks want more recent updates, you can go on the Hawaii Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity website for the 2014 number or 2024 numbers. But the concentrations are really high. And in communities where I'm from, so I'm from ʻAiea, in communities where I'm from, the effects are felt. If this is felt in, it's felt in our community members, our older community members who have hard time breathing at certain times, or who have shared that they've had hard time breathing at certain times in the day or in the evening, or have experienced or witnessing the spraying being done on these parcels near our neighborhoods. And then in the later slides, I'll go through some maps that we've pulled from the data from HAPA. But these are some examples of some really, really harmful chemicals. So with Act 45, so what it did is it put reporting requirements on restricted use pesticides, but unfortunately there are exemptions. So for neonicotinoids or neonics, they're not currently classified as a restricted use, so they're not subject to reporting. However, they are still toxic to other pollinators, some which are native pollinators, including our birds, our native birds. They're also systemic, so they're placed in seeds or roots that make the whole plant toxic, but most of it is lost in the soil. And then another exemption is through experimental use field trials or through experimental use permits. So these are also exemptions to reporting made at the federal level to research. And on the Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity website, you can also read into their administrative rules, where in Title 4, Chapter 66, it gives you more details on experimental use permits in Hawaii. And some exemptions include no experimental use permit is required for interstate shipment or use of a substance or mixture of substances being put through laboratory enclosed space production or limited field trials of less than 1/4 of an acre. I didn't point this out in the previous slide, but for metam sodium, although it's a soil fumigant, when it's sprayed, it has a rate of like traveling up to a mile away from where the area it's sprayed. But with Act 45, the buffer zone is protecting schools up to 100 feet. So we really need better reporting requirements and restrictions when folks, farmers, applicators are putting these pesticides and spraying these pesticides in our community. Next slide, please. So yeah, like I said, Act 45 is not enough, and that's one of the reasons why we're going out to the community and sharing about our research, some of our work. We're trying to get the community informed and to share that if you folks are aware or have family members or are affected yourself, feel free to reach out to our office. We'd definitely love to like connect more and share about what we're going to be doing heading into the next session.
What are the restricted use pesticides used for? What in particular?
So most of them are used for like tending to some of the bugs, unwanted pests or bugs on a field. When there's like crops or before crops are being put out, they want to like make sure that what they're putting out is able to grow.
So for example, like the metam sodium. What does that do?
So that one, from what I researched, it's a soil fumigant, and it's used to control pests like fungi, nematodes, weed seeds, and insects before planting.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So how will we recognize if somebody's using it?
Well, in those maps, so that's one way that we've kind of like identified with the help of HAPA. They put together these maps, and then if you look on the Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity website, you can actually see where folks are spraying. So applicators or farmers who own certain parcels, what they have to do is they have to complete this pesticide reporting form annually and submit it to the Department of Ag. Unfortunately, for this form itself, what you see at the top, all that boxes highlighted in green, that's required under Act 45. But I know it's a little small, but in white, there's things like the time that it's being applied. Oh, thank you. The crop or site that's being applied or what they're using to, well, what they're trying to like mitigate for. Those details aren't being required. So what we're trying to do and what our office is trying to educate the public on is that we need better requirements for the safety of our community.
So what's in green is what is where it's being used? Is that how I'm supposed to read that?
What's in green
Yeah.
is what's required by the applicator or the farmer. So that's the information that they have to submit to the Department of Ag every year.
Okay. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily mean that's what they're using.
Well, to follow Act 45 requirements, like it has to be like, it has to fill those requirements. So whatever the EPA registration number, the active ingredients of their, the pesticide that they're using, the amounts that they're using, things like that.
Okay. Russell?
No, I was just going to say, my understanding is that restricted use pesticides are issued only by permit.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah, so
regulated.
yeah. But beyond the licensing, the certification, the monitoring, like the reporting, it's still pretty loose. And in terms of just how much it affects communities like mine in Wahiawa, where it's like our community is adjacent to these large farms or large parcels that are spraying thousands and thousands of pounds, it's, alarming.
So on the map, there was like green, yellow, and red.
Mhm.
Is there difference? I assume that red means that's like
Higher
where
concentration.
higher concentration.
Yeah.
Is green like a concentration level that we don't need to worry about or should worry about?
I would say with restricted use pesticides, there's effects that impacts to both human health as well as our environmental health.
Mhm.
So even though we're not adjacent, if you folks go to the beach, you guys go to the North Shore, that downstream effect of like the water running down or raining on Wahiawa, washing down into
Mhm.
The beaches, into our beaches,
Mhm.
that can play effects on the community as
Right.
well. And I'm not trying to fear monger or anything,
Okay.
but just in terms of like what we've researched, it's some of these restricted use pesticides can like live in the environment for a long time.
Okay.
Chair Wood. Paul, first of all, I'd like to thank you for your presentation. Oh, but
That's okay, I
but
appreciate
that's
the question.
even more so when I want to interject what I want to say is that we're getting I'm concerned that we're getting a one-sided approach to this. We're getting your opinion and allusions to various scientific things without hearing from the people who actually use these restricted use pesticides. As Chair Wood mentioned, why do they use it? We need to hear from them. Why do they use it? They live in our community too. So not that there's some evil scientists, poisoning the land and escaping to another country. They live in the same community. And I think it would be fair that you can continue your presentation, but still, I would like to hear from the opposing side, from the people who use the pesticides, why they use it, why they think it's safe, why they think it's safe for to be using it in their community with their families being affected as well. Again, I think I get concerned when you present these people as being evil people poisoning the land, but you realize that they live here too. So let's hear from them, hear their reasons why they use it and why they think it's safe for them and their families.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. Everybody's has an opportunity to come and present a presentation to this board, just like they do. I just have never been reached out by them to be able to do it. They reached out to me, so I'm going to offer them that platform. But if, the folks that are using these pesticides want to come out and brief our board, they're always more than welcome to do that. So.
Chair, may I?
Yeah.
What does the Board of Water Supplies talked about it? Is it discussed? I mean, I've never heard of this, so it's way above my head, but I thought Hawaii had very good quality of water. My brother in Albuquerque, New Mexico says our water is so clean, you don't need to buy bottled water. But anyway, that's enough. But I'd like to know the background more because this is way above my head. And
Okay. Go ahead and continue. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were going to speak, Ernie. Go
Was
ahead.
that a question, a board member for me at the Board of Water Supply? Oh, okay.
No, I think May here just asked you if the Board of Water Supply is monitoring these kind of activities.
We're not monitoring these activities. We hope that the Department agriculture and biosecurity is that properly regulating these and that the applicators are following the requirements of using those types of herbicides and pesticides. But I do want to point out the 12 activated carbon filtration facilities in Central Oahu are the results of agricultural pesticides being used, and that eventually got into the groundwater.
Yeah.
So that's a caveat here for everybody. What we put on the ground may eventually get into our drinking water resources. So we want to be careful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernie. Appreciate that. Who'd you say it was that monitors this? The Department of Agriculture?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead and continue now.
Thank you. I think I just have 2 more slides, but just some of the current ideas that we're floating around in our office and in the program that our interns are in is better reporting of the system, just ensuring that we're having accurate reporting, so more detailed reporting of what's being actually like applied on people's parcels, increased buffer zones, not just in schools, but other areas where folks congregate or community congregates, such as parks, hospitals, other like libraries and other community areas. Larger fees and fines for punishments for illegal use. So our office reached out to the Department of Agriculture, the pesticides branch, earlier on in the summer, and we haven't since been able to like get in touch with them again. But when we first met with them, the fines that they shared were pretty minimal, and they're applied for folks who are small farmers all the way up to like kind of like big folks with bigger parcels. So we're trying to identify whether or not there's like an ability to have like a scale on like the size of people's parcels, as well as like how much they're applying or how much they're spraying on their parcels. And then, sorry, next slide, please. And then how you can help. So our office has drafted a resolution that you folks can read over and like think about, maybe can consider adopting as a will and intent of your folks' board. Share your experience, testify if you have folks or family members who are affected by pesticides or pesticide use. Hold community meetings such as this. Contact your elected officials, educate folks about pesticide use, and then stand with farmers and support locally owned organic farms. And then next, I think last slide. Oh, sorry. Sorry, we can skip this slide. And these are our links to our resources. So the far right QR code will give you access to the maps, so you folks can have a better look at your area and like the parcels. Last I looked, there aren't any parcels near the ʻAiea Palava area, but at least you can like look at some of the maps and see where they are heavily sprayed. But thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Before we move on, I just kind of want to point out that like the Surfrider, I don't know who these guys are, but anyways, I read this report a while back where the Surfrider Foundation did lab tests on like pretty much all the beaches in the US. And number 1 was Imperial Beach in San Diego, California, which sits right next to Tijuana. So go figure. That's why they're 100% bacteria rate there. The next 2 are in Hawaii. So Navili in Kauai, and then the next one is here on Oahu at Kahaluu Stream. So those are the top 3 in the United States in terms of beaches and the pollution levels. So what she's saying is definitely backed up by lab tests. Okay, go ahead, Lawrence.
You know, as far as the evolution of the pesticides, say 20 years ago to today, are they still using the same product, or is it different? Because before we had a lot of pineapple, sugarcane on the island, they use a lot of pesticides then. Is it the same pesticides that was used back then that they're using today?
You know, I'd have to go back and like speak with some of our community advocates to see like what kind of how pesticides have evolved. What we know though is that folks are using higher concentrations, using a mix of pesticides, and like that, using a mixture of these pesticides can have like exponentially negative effects to our environmental and our groundwater and our human health. But I'll take that back to our office and then we'll do more
Yeah,
research on
because
that.
the time it takes for something on the surface to get down to our aquifers into our drinking water, it's not like a couple of years. It might be like 30, 40, 50, 100 years. So a lot of the pesticides that was used before on pineapple and sugarcane, they probably used a lot then also. I'm just wondering, as far as evolution, if because we're in a more modern age, if they're actually using less pesticides than before time.
I'll take that back. I do just want to say too that as our soil is, I guess, intaking more of these pesticides, like that, those compounding effects can like degrade the soil as well. So allowing for more of it to go through the soil and enter into the aquifer. So
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You did a good job.
Yeah, you did a good job. Thank you. With that, we're going to have to go ahead and move on. Thank you again for the presentation.
Thank you.
I think this is really important. And yes, I agree. The floor is always open for counter arguments or counter presentations. So, huh? I don't even know who to invite. So I think based on this conversation, it would be the Department of Agriculture be the next group we bring in. Yeah. Yeah.
You would have to invite the companies that use the restricted use pesticide.
And I don't know who those people are.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that, but that we're still getting a one-sided report just because they didn't know about it. They didn't know about the presentation, so they did not have an opportunity. The fact that we aren't aware of who these companies are, perhaps the people that are making these charges would tell us what companies are using.
Do you know the companies that are doing or using, is there a list of these companies somewhere?
they're listed on the Department of Agriculture website. It's kind of like a wonky way to find it, but I can send you the links. They're
Yeah, send it to
really
myself.
accessible. Yeah, so
I can send it to all you folks and then we can maybe reach out to some of them and see if invite them to come. Okay.
oh, definitely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Moving on. The Keoloa ʻAiea Ohana Park.
Aloha, Chair Wood, members of the ʻAiea Neighborhood Board. I'm Dan Donnell, president of Trees for Honolulu's Future. We are a nonprofit that aims to increase our urban tree canopy. And we've been working with the ʻAiea Community Association, the city, and others to realize the potential for the what's called ʻAiea Interim Park right now. And I'm just going to share my screen here. Hopefully you'll see a picture of that interim park right across from where you're meeting tonight. And there's not much there right now except the field. And we're here tonight to share some real positive news and in the spirit of community. And I wish I was there in person, but it's just family prevents Tuesday nights from going out to meetings. Claire Tamamoto is going to take to the mic and talk about this, and I will advance the slides and we will brief the board in the next 10 minutes about this real exciting park opportunity. So Claire?
This will not take 10 minutes, I don't think. So as we spoke before, the ʻAiea Community Association, when the ʻAiea sugar mill went down, there was 19 acres that was left of undeveloped property. And this included the land that the library sits on, the land of the affordable housing, senior housing there, and a little piece of the land on the other side. But this is the main piece in the middle. And it's always been our dream or our vision to have it create a sense of place. So that's our tagline for our community association, to create a sense of place for ʻAiea. And if you look at ʻAiea, much of our open spaces have been taken up by, buildings and cement. And if we want to truly make a commitment to our ʻAina and our water uses and our environment, and then to teach our children how to value these things, this park, Ohana Keola ʻAiea Ohana Park, represents an opportunity for us to do that. Next slide, I guess. Daniel? So, okay, so there's the kind of the timeline that we put together. This is what, the sugar mill is what stood on the property for over 100 years. When, I, so it just shows a progression, and then we were able to we sat and we made plans on how we could go forward for this parcel of land. At one time, it was being considered to be a Kmart kind of thing, and you know where the Kmarts are now. So we community fought to have a overall vision from the mountain, from the mountains to the ocean. We have the fish pond, and we want to keep the, sorry, I lost my notes here. We want to keep the vision going, and we were able to secure some money in this parcel right for the parcel right across of us. Instead of when we first came, when you guys came today, it is being used by the football team. And you can see right now it's that big park that says park right there. So we envision to have a tree-filled community with open space that, that, and you can read it right there, that honors our heritage and it engages our youth and community volunteers to provide them a passive recreation area, walking space, while restoring the environment's health and to be part of our integrated ʻAhupua'a. So the idea is we're going to take that plain land, which we hope to put trees on it and put pathways on it, to create little spaces or community areas where people can gather. And we need everybody's help. And we were able to, with this effort, obtain a grant. Next slide. Next slide.
Yeah, and Andy can talk to this, Claire.
So this is the park's master plan. And so I'm going to call up Andy to look at what he, well, you should do it, Andy. Come talk about our.
Okay, aloha. My name is Dr. Andy Kaufman. I'm a ʻAiea resident and a UH professor. About 9 years ago, with coordination with ʻAiea, we had a couple studios to look at how to develop the vision of ʻAiea. And so my students conducted some research at the area, interviewed residents of the area, as well as did a demographic study of the existing parks. And what turned out, people wanted a passive tree-filled area without any active ball fields or that type of activities, because there's enough around here. But they wanted a tree-filled area, having walking paths and a place for kapuna and keiki to kind of gather. So in this plan here, it's a master plan filled with trees, walking paths. In future iterations, there's a community center and also a keiki and kapuna kind of exercise play area that are together. So with Dan Donnell and Trees for Honolulu's Future, along with ʻAiea, they were able to get a grant to at least start putting in the trees and the paths. Back to you, Claire. Yep. So
Actually, Andy, I can close it out and then we'll take some questions. You know, this is about healing the land, and you know, there's this very famous Olelo no Eau, the rain follows the forest, and by planting the trees here, and we really help to heal and bring people together, like Andy is talking about. And I don't know if NTK How is there, wants to talk any further on it, and then we can answer questions. And I also wanted to acknowledge Roxanne Adams, who is the head of the city's Division of Urban Forestry, is patiently online as well, and the city is a real key partner to making all of this work, since it is a city park.
So just to be clear, that this is really interesting for Hawaii because it was based on community input as well as sort of European and South American park models.
you can see the many partners that were put together. And it's really quite amazing because we've gotten the city to buy in and share their nursery. They have a nursery of trees, and they're willing to come in, and they've been in talks with Andy on what we can plant as far as trees that are native to Hawaii, kind of thing. It's an opportunity. I mean, for us who have been doing this for now almost 30 years, when we first presented the plans for this whole parcel almost 30 years ago to City Council, there are many communities that were looking at us and saying, we want to see what this community can do because it's different. It's not driven by, I'm nothing against politicians, but because they're the ones that actually make it happen. But this was really driven by the community and what many community meetings and what they wanted to see. And then, of course, you need government to help make it sustain itself. So, because you need, we didn't come with any money. We just came with ideas. And so it was very helpful to have everybody put this together. So we are actually asking that maybe not at this time because, like we have to let it massage and let other people come and speak at the board. But we would like to have the neighborhood board support and continue support to go forward with this project. And like Steve had said earlier, it's a good partnership that we've had throughout the years. And so, yeah, I was really kind of blown away by the beginning part of the meeting when we talked about all the crime. I thought, here we are looking at something very simple. And I said, I want to close with this little story that I told at one of our planning meetings. And at last Christmas parade, the people from the fish pond had a little nursery, and they were giving away aloe plants that, where you break it off and you heal somebody's cut and some. I mean, I didn't know and they gave it away, and they gave it. My granddaughter came home. She's 4. And she came home with 2 plants, and it sits in our patio. But she had a little scrape on her face the other day, and I said, "Oh, do you want to put a little bit of aloe on it?" She said, because I grew up thinking that you don't scar it if you put it on there, right? She said, "Yeah, let's do that." So I went out and I picked a branch off and I brought it in, and she said to me, "Did you ask the plant's permission to break off a branch?" But that's what she was told, or she was, she learned at that meeting, or when she got the plant. And so it's something, if we teach our young people to appreciate that ʻAiea is not Pro-Ridge Center. We don't exist because of Pro-Ridge Center. I think it'll go a long way to educating our kids and having them have a deeper appreciation for the land and our resources. I can see Paul has a question.
Go ahead, Paul. Yeah, thank you, Claire. And I appreciate your vision for planting the trees. Certainly, I agree wholeheartedly that we definitely need more trees in this area as well as other areas. But I question how much community input was given to this, because I've lived in ʻAiea Heights for 40 years, and I don't recall anyone asking me my community input, because I would have said that it's nice to think about the concept of having a park with walking paths and trees. But when you look at the area, it's not bordered by houses very much. You have the clinical labs, you have the library, you have the senior citizen center, and you have the church. So it's not like it's in a big residential area next to, condos or someplace where there'll be a lot of people actually using that area. In fact, for all of us who came here tonight, it was used mostly by the football players. So I'm certainly, if you had asked all of those families, what would you envision for that? They say, oh, a much better place, put trees all around that area, but this is a great place for us to practice football. So although the concept is good, I don't think it has the overwhelming community support that you think that it has.
I think I have to beg to differ with you a little bit, because I've been here for the numerous community meetings where when we started this vision and we packed Elvis Scott Elementary School, I mean, the entire school with it. This is a time when council member was Mufi Hanneman, kind of thing. And there was tremendous support. We've spent numerous of meetings. We've done livable community plans. It's a long haul kind of thing. And it's a living, any kind of project like this, I think has to be a living document. It's not, certainly the original plans that we had were not exactly like this. You know, it wasn't, we envisioned maybe a smaller community center, something more of a gathering place, maybe some ballroom dancing places, you know, so things have changed over the years. I think, you know, Forrest Gump's, not Forrest Gump, but what is that baseball story? If you build, they will come. I think, yeah, Field of Dreams. I think in this neighborhood, there are a lot of older people that would make very good use of a passive park, and we're all getting older. But Cal is standing here, so she must want to say something.
Okay. I know it's late, everyone, in mahalo nui. Thank you so much for raising that, because there are many needs in this community. I come from a family that has been here for 9 generations, and I've seen a lot of change. My grandparents saw a change, my father. It's been 40 years, 28 years since the first cry came out from this community to save this space. Maybe you were there then and you saw us holding signs outside saying, please don't tear down the mill. What was here were huge monkey pod trees, 10 people around. They got torn down, and the coconut trees, because the developer said, no one will know what's there if we don't cut them down. And so they got cut down. And the community rose, like Claire is saying, thousands of people around, not only in ʻAiea, rose to support the restoration of this space. This building right here was the first to be finished, because community went, and I personally went to work at the legislature to make sure we could have the funding. Then came the housing, which is now coming to help Kupuna. And this is just the last part of that long vision. I've heard people tell us that this is a community that is actually admirable and a model for the perseverance that we have and the love that we have despite all of the changes that come in through external forces. And so I'm happy to help the ones who think they should have a football field find an appropriate place for a football field. We have a new stadium coming up. Why shouldn't we be able to have a space to play there? Mahalo nui.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and limit the questions and comments to that. Okay. Moving on, we have 4 minutes. I'm going to try to make the best of my time. We'll move on to federal and state official reports. Congressman Ed Case, nothing. Okay. Governor Green's office.
Hi, Chairman.
Okay, great. Thank you. Real quick.
I'll make it quick. I'm sorry. What I wanted to report, Mr. Chairman, Nestor Garcia for Congressman Case, for the record. I put it in the chat. The most important thing is the upcoming Teletown Talk Story, virtual talk story with Congressman Case, October 2nd, starting at 6:30 p.m. For information on that, go to his website, case.house.gov. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Right, thank
I'll
you.
leave it to the.
All right, I'm not going to leave it to any questions. I'm just going to make one comment. Appreciate you guys putting out the notice about Blue Hawaiian Airlines asking to get an exemption to 700 feet. So
Yes, sir.
I feel like I live underneath an airport as it is already. So, okay.
Thank you.
Moving on to Governor Green's office.
Hello, it's Janelle Sanishi with the representing the governor's office. I would just want to mention that the governor launched engage.hawaii.gov, which is a new public website designed to promote government transparency and encourage public participation. The first issue they're looking at is the leased lands of the U.S. Army that are coming are due. And so if you have information or comments that you want the governor to know about the lease lands, then please go to the engage.hawaii.gov. The governor's newsletter is on his website, governor.hawaii.gov. And just wanted to say, because I am the public information officer for the Department of Agriculture, if the board pleases, I can ask one of our environmental health specialists to come to the next meeting and explain the regulation. We're not advocates, we enforce the law so they can explain the regulations. That's it.
Yeah, that would be helpful, ma'am, if you could do that. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
All right. No questions. I'm sorry. So we got to move. Senator Wakai's office? Nothing? Okay. Senator Elefante's office? I got 1 minute. 1 minute.
This is Taylor with Senator Elefante's office. He apologizes that he's not able to be there tonight. We basically are just summarizing some survey results, and we're going to be using those results for the upcoming session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Representative Ichiyama's office? Okay. Representative Shimizu office?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the time. Well, I had a lot to share, but I'll boil it down to
I'm so
one
sorry. We
announcement.
ran out of time tonight.
No,
I
no
do
worries. A lot
apologize.
of people, a lot of concerns, and a lot of good discussion. Just wanted to announce that Thursday, September 25th, 6:30, we have a town hall put on by Representative Kong. We're gonna have Senators Aquino, Elefante, Wakai there, Representatives Chun, Kong, Takayama, myself, and council members Cordero and Okimoto there. We're gonna have a special guest from the U.S. Secret Service, and they're gonna be talking about crimes against kupunas. So that might be very interesting for many of us, myself included, who are kupuna. So with that, thank you, Chair. Aloha, everyone.
Thank you, sir. And apologize again for only giving you a limited amount of time.
No worries. Thank
Representative
you.
Kong's office. Okay, nothing heard. Okay, I'm not even gonna go through the announcements. You guys can read that. It'll be October 13th, 7 p.m. here at the library. And with that, meeting's adjourned. Thank you.